voice of Master Chief, Spartan 117, and you're tuned in to Next Podcast. Now, wake me when you need me.
And stuff like that in Flight Simulator. Like he paid for them though, and of course they're like anywhere between $17 to like $30 a plane.
Yeah, I told you when we were talking the other day. So that's what their goal was. Like they'll make the money off the planes.
Yeah, and
in the airport.
By the way, yo, what is going on, chat? What is up, people? Yes, it is Thursday night. It is prime time, and you know what that means. Next podcast is live. What is up, people? It is good to see you guys. We are in for a show tonight. You are in for a show tonight because it seems like there is the winds of change in the air. The beginning of it, from what I see. Sounds and like, we are going to get... We are definitely going to get into it. Not only that, I want to hear what these bums have to say about Halo Infinite's flight. I feel like I'm the only one on the panel that didn't get invited to play Halo.
That's incorrect.
Well, I didn't play it. I did get invited.
They treated me like a dirty Gears fan, and they didn't invite me, is what happened.
I get to every Gears beta, bro. I don't know what you're talking about.
No, but 343 treated me like a dirty Gears fan and didn't invite me. Were you invited?
Yep.
I was invited, sir.
See? Because you're a dirty Gears fan. That's why.
It connected... I was going to send it to you, but it connected straight to my gamer score, so.
Oh, my goodness. Yo. Guys, before we get into it, hit that thumbs up button. Share the show out. Let people know that we are live right now. We are going to get into it. We are going to get into the YouTubers out there, long-time PlayStation gamers, talking about they are switching to the Xbox this year. I've seen a wave of these videos the last couple of months, and it just keeps on getting more and more. We got to talk about that. We got to talk about the possibility, or the even closer possibility, that PlayStation will be putting their exclusives on PC day and date, people. Some people said that would not happen.
Shame,
I think
shame,
you heard
shame.
Otherwise right here. Not only that, we're going to break down some of these numbers. You know, there are people out there, they love numbers, and they love exclusives and exclusive numbers, and there's things to talk about in that whole genre as well.
Exclusive.
So sit back, get your popcorn ready, because we are going to get into it. We have to get into the intros first, and I'm going to start with the man that you just heard, because he's closest to my house, so it would make sense to start with him. Yo, he is the inventor, the creator of hashtag Crispy Truth, and I will let you know, he can shoot a zombie or two, but he prefers the axe. Yo, it is Crispy Bomb. What is up, brother?
Welcome to the next podcast.
We don't do... Oh, my God.
See? You fucked up. See?
Heart attack.
I was trying to give you something, and then you're just like, fuck you. Yeah. What's up, everybody? And I will say this. Back for Blood absolutely surprised the shit out of me. And I don't know what I can say, but, man, that game is a little bit dirty. Dude, it gave me a challenge. Like, you thought it was easy for a little bit, and then it's like, I'm going to slap you in the face real quick. Let me give you 100 zombies right off rip. Let me give you a big old juggernaut motherfucker with a big old freaking hammer on your face. Like, they kept bringing it, and I was like, man, they making you doing little, like, mini games, as I like to call them, like, putting explosives down, or at the end, Bob, we were building like Call of Duty Zombies, bro. We were building freaking inside, dude. Dude, game is legit, gotta say. But yeah, great to be here, and let's get into it, man.
Yeah, definitely. And I'll give you a chance to talk about Back for Blood. I know I didn't put it in the topics, but the beta just came out, so we got to talk about it real quick. But we're only letting people who have played the game, played the beta, talk about it. So it could be a very, very quick topic. But on that note, next on the list, of course, he is coming from the Lone Star State, and he has a direct line, a direct feed to somebody close to our brother K-Mega. That is right. It is Predator. What is up, bro?
Yo, what's up, everybody? Not much going on. I'm trying to download some of this shit that I didn't get to play that y'all talk about, so doing that shit right now. But
he's trying to get in to play it real quick so he can talk about it.
No, not that. I haven't had a chance to download. I hooked some people up with it, but I haven't even downloaded my damn stuff. So I'll get into that now. But I know we have some topics to get into, and it's going to be a long night because there's going to be some white on white on whatever you are crime. So let's go.
Okay, and I'm let's see. I'm trying to get some code secured and ready to possibly give out to the chat. I'm trying to do that, so bear with me on that. But next on the list, we are gonna go all the way to the West Coast. That is right. This man, he does a podcast every week with us in full scuba gear, just in case it happens. And of course, I'm talking about the Angry Otter, Dark Optimus. What is up, bro?
What's up, man? Happy to be here. Ready to get into these topics, man.
Are you excited about the? Because I feel like you might hate some of these topics, dude.
Why?
I don't know. They're truthful topics, but I don't know. It's gonna be interesting.
I mean, if people can't hear the truth, then that's their fault. I don't know.
It's their fault. It's all your fault out there. If you guys can't handle the truth, you heard Dark Optimus. It is all your fault.
You fucked that up.
Dark
dude.
Artemis. Yeah.
You fucked that up so bad.
I did, but I kept it moving. You know what I'm saying? It's what you're supposed to do. You just keep it going, but you brought it right back. You hit rewind, like, dude, Xbot fucked up right there. Right there. Look at that, everybody.
Yep.
Oh no, guys! Next on the list. Now he's been having some issues. It seems that he got the Predator mic virus, and he says it was transmitted to him by Windows 11. I hope we can hear him tonight. It is K-Mega. What is up, bro? Oh no. Oh, it's fading out.
Yeah, can't even hear it, dude.
Can't even hear it.
I don't even know why you're trying to do it. Can't even hear it, man.
Yeah.
That's what your girl said.
Can barely hear you too, dude.
Oh. How are you today? Oh, that is great. Thank you.
and in substitute, we have Ken Kniff. Yeah.
How dare you talk to me that way, Xbot? I will slap you in the face with my balls.
Wow. Yo.
Fresh balls.
Okay, what about now? Oh,
that's better. That's actually better.
Yeah, but I'll probably have to reset. Thank you, Windows 11.
Dude,
yeah.
why didn't you just
that was
opt out of that
basically
beta then?
Fuck you, Windows
because
11.
It just came out. Well, I was still signed to it. I didn't even trip about it. And then it just came out of the blue, and then everything just went. But I mean, it's really dope. I mean, for everything else that I've been dealing with it, so far, it's a cool, service.
It's really dope if you're not a content creator.
Right. Yeah, it's a absolute ass whooping if it's not. But all right, I'm just gonna back out, come back. But
you sound perfectly fine, bro. Like, you really do.
I sound perfectly fine.
Yeah,
now.
you're better.
It's fine now. It's your soundboard.
You're fine now. Yeah, your soundboard is not.
But But I'm like right. My mouth is like right here on the. Well, I guess I can adjust it, but I don't know. I don't know.
You know what it feels like. Have your mouth right there on that track.
Oh my goodness, people!
You know what I'm saying on her thing, maybe, but not on no man. Of course, no meat rockets, no meat rockets.
Waiting for it.
Man, you know what I'm talking about.
No.
Nope. Stick your tongue out next time.
Oh,
shit.
Well, I mean, yeah, when you playing the Slurpee dance with the female, of course. Let's go. All right, let's get it.
Wow.
All right.
Wow.
Hashtag meat curtains.
Oh,
That's right, ATL. Everybody hit that like button. I wonder how many people
started yet.
I wonder how many people tune in just to hear the intros every week. Yeah, I wonder.
Highlighted the show.
That's
right?
all. That's all they listen to.
all
Just
day.
the intros. That's it. They don't care about the rest of the show.
Yeah. Okay, Mega.
If my brother's working over there with beef taco meat over there, that's his business. I don't know about that.
Jesus. What the fuck?
I don't even know what to say about that.
I don't know.
Oh my God.
You better make sure to get some surgery on them drinks. But
Jesus. What the fuck?
Oh shit!
Yo.
Oh shit, man.
Okay.
Okay.
Well,
So I sound better now, right? I sound better, right?
Yeah, you sound good.
Okay.
All right. Yo, shout out to my brother Dragonheart Yobi hitting up that super chat. That is right, people. The super chat does work, and he says peace, love, life. He was like, "Oh, really? I'm reading it. Bot ain't get the invite because Microsoft saw Bot's performance from that Halo tournament."
Oh,
ladies and gents, we got him. Yeah.
Finish him.
Bro, are you talking about the tournament where we won the first round like by a landslide?
Thanks for checking in. I'm still a piece of garbage.
Oh man, yo, Viper is loving the back and forth right now. By the way, all right, well, guys, let's get into it. And of course,
I love it. Good one, good slander.
You were a part of my team.
But listen,
Yeah.
listen, you said tonight's show was about
You were a
facts.
part of my team, though, bro. How did you get it?
I was never
facts.
but I was never last. I was always second or third. So I mean, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes first.
Wow.
I was hoping a person that, that loves Halo just as much as I do would come out of that last place spot. But you know what? Listen. It's just like when you build
I'm sorry,
a house.
that last one, man. They went back to the days of Pong with like the original Halo and like that, man. Like I already moved on with Halo 5. Like
I got it. I got you. But
you were in my corner, K-Mega.
You my boy, man. You know what I'm saying? Forever. So
My boy, Blue. You my boy.
Yo,
we
guys,
had to carry your ass out after that ass whooping.
Guys, let's get into the topics, and we got to talk about the early access beta for the game that you're seeing right now. That is right, it's Back for Blood. I am sorry, guys, I didn't edit any of like the menus or anything out. Basically, I just recorded it. Crispy knows he was there. He was a part of my squad, and shout out to Flamish as well. He was also a part of my squad, and then we had a rando because the graphic god, for some rhyme or reason, it must be that Canadian internet, just could not join us, man. We sat there for a while waiting for him, and it just couldn't happen. But yes, we got in. Shout out to Predator for hooking me up with one of those friend codes. Got in.
Why nobody sent me no invite?
That's a different topic. That's going to be later on in the show. The reason why nobody invited you, bro. But I got in. I gotta say, like, first off, and I'm probably gonna get hung in the chat for this. I played Left 4 Dead and Left 4 Dead 2. I wasn't overly a fanatic about it. Like I played it to get close to this female I was talking to online back in the day, and I played it with her. And I thought it was decent, but I never really got into it. Me personally, I gotta say, this is Left 4 Dead, just with a new name and a couple better zombies, like crazy zombies. But who on the panel has played the game, played the beta?
You already know. Oh, he has. Oh, there you go. Start with K-Mega. K
Mega has. Dude, why were you just asking why nobody invited you if you're playing the freaking beta?
I'm not going to wait for nobody. I'm just going to keep it moving. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I mean, you know, I played the what was it? The alpha beforehand, and then I played the beta. I played it for the last hour, and I played another game too, which I guess I could say the name of the game, but I just can't talk about it, which is the XD what is it? X
Defiant?
Yeah, X Defiant. So yeah, and then also there's going to be Age of Empires that I'm going to be playing here.
Yo, K Mega, RG Viper in the chat, I think he just said our whole team was garbage in Halo. I think he is challenging me, you, and the Don with his team of choice for maybe, I don't know, Halo 5, maybe?
I think don't want that word.
I think that's what he's trying to say right now. I don't know.
Save it for Infinite.
Yeah.
But yo, K Mega, what? So you played Back 4 Blood. What were your impressions, man? Good, bad, whatnot.
Oh no, I love it. I mean, it's Left 4 Dead. You know,
it really
it's modern. It's Left 4 Dead, but it's modern. And the only thing that I could say personally that I didn't have the biggest I'm still trying to get a better grasp of is the cards, because of course the that wasn't in the old Left 4 Deads, but I mean this is the same staff that still worked on the original Left 4 Deads, and so that I guess because Valve just doesn't want to make another Left 4 Dead, they just decided to just go ahead and do it on their own, which I'm very thankful for. But looking at the game, I was playing it on the PC, got cross play. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Fred. I got the code for that. But also what I found out was that if you played the alpha, you automatically can get invited to the beta. So it was cool. So I was gonna have to play it on PC anyway. But listen, the controls are a lot better than what they were. The one thing graphically I noticed that it's a lot better than the alpha. But just good old fashioned fun, man. The trash talking within the game. I'm liking the characters. I mean, of course, you know what I'm saying? I mean, he doesn't sound like Barrett from Final Fantasy VII, but the black dude, he does get a little bit of that, what you doing, sucker? Get these hands. But, he's not that bad. So he's not as bad as Barrett from Final Fantasy VII Remake. But but other than that, no, I like the characters. I think, like I said, the only problem that I have so far is the card system, but that's just because I don't know how to utilize them or use them properly. But everything else within the game is absolutely awesome. I cannot wait for this game to launch. I'm going to be all over it.
Nice, brother. And yeah, I think the biggest thing to be said about this is it is Left 4 Dead. Now, granted, there's some zombies and stuff that they didn't have in Left 4 Dead that I think bring it to another level. K-Mag, were there any surprises to you? Like, I'll say one for me was that big ass, what they call them, the ogre.
Yeah, the ogre. Yeah.
Yo, that thing when he came out of the ground, like, dude, my whole team scattered. Like, Flame is just like, I'm going inside. Like, what?
I'm going in there to go help. I'm going to get, like, two of the other people went in there and got they bailed out, and then somebody else got attacked by it, and so I was deterring it so I could try to get it away, so I could try to go back and save the person that was downed by it. But then what was crazy is that the person, whoever was playing with the female character, the young female character, we got up and we escaped, but the other two got stuck. One got, I don't know. Now, see, I haven't seen what that creature looked like yet, but whatever that one creature is, it sticks you to the wall. And so, it stuck somebody to the wall, and that person was screaming for help. But you know what we did? We just let them ride, because you know what? You know what I'm saying? Like, go ahead and be stuck. You're all right. And so then the zombies just tore them to shreds. But and then the other person, and I guess those two were friends, because the other person just quit right after that when we didn't go save the other one. But no, I like that. I like the I played about, like I said, about an hour so far. I've seen the things that I don't remember so much when playing the alpha was the crows. I don't know how far that you guys got, but there was like, you don't alert the crows when
Yeah.
the horde's going to come.
I did that on purpose. That was my fault.
Oh, the horde is ridiculous. There's always going to be somebody, and that's the one thing about dealing with randoms, is when you got when you somebody's going to just set it off. I mean, me and two other people was just walking real softly and gently past the birds. Next thing you know, somebody just and then the birds went crazy, and then the hordes came, and then like it was a mess. But I mean, like I said, it's Left 4 Dead, just modern. I cannot wait. It's just so fun, man. I do like the variety, but it seems like there's going to be more different creatures as well. There was one thing that I called the smoke beast, because it just kind of runs, it's a big old thing, and then it just runs straight at you, and then poof, and I guess it poisons you or whatever.
It explodes,
I don't know what
man.
it is. Yeah, it just explodes. But I can't wait to play more so I can see more of what it's got to offer.
Yo, shout out to Master Clown X3. He is a member of the channel, hitting up that super chat.
Man.
And I don't even have to say anything, man. He didn't even put anything, no question, no nothing. Yo, Master Clown, man, type in something. Say K-Mega's still a piece of garbage, something like that.
No, we Master Clown. We want an exclusive for the next
Betrayal.
podcast. Come on, man. You gotta give us something, dude.
Guys, I do wanna give a little update real quick on the channel. Not only do I have super chats on this channel, but I recently became eligible for something called Super Thanks. So for people who check out the show afterwards, and if you still, and again, totally optional, all right, but if you still want to support the channel, you want to give $1 or $2, whatever you want to do, you can do it through the Super Thanks, and it will highlight your comment after the show, and I will let you guys know that I will respond to every single Super Thanks comment. I try to respond to comments, when I can, but people putting forth their hard-earned money and stuff like that just to help support this channel, this show, and stuff. I think that is the absolute least I can do. So if you guys do decide after the show is live that you want to, throw some support at this channel, I will respond to any of those comments, good, bad, or indifferent. So it is what it is.
Go hit up K-Mega405's channel. I mean, I got some Dev and the Gamers up and stuff like that. So yeah, come on.
You got Super Thanks too, sir?
Hell, I don't know, but let me. Hey. Just give it to me. Anyway, but no.
Yeah.
I had to. I'm sorry.
Yo, let's go to Crispy now, because Crispy, me and you were gaming, and we've done it a few times, man. Not as much as I would like to, because I have a feeling certain people would join the party and be like, "Yo, you guys got to play Gears. You guys got to play Gears." But we got in, we played this beta. We were able to check out kind of like the menu in the beginning, which is it's basically the game. You're in the fort. Dude, what did you think about the game? What were some of the surprises? Some of the things you liked? Some of the things that you thought they could do better? What's your opinion here, man?
Do better. I mean, let's get the negative out of the way real quick. Do better. I mean, whatever problem Jay was having, I was disappointed that he couldn't be a part of the team. Looking forward to that. And, that kind of drives me nuts. Like, you're a multiplayer centric game. Like, let's get this together. At the same time, it's a gosh darn beta. And to be honest with you, probably one of the best I've ever played for a beta. And I'm not saying a game, just saying beta. Was pretty surprised how it just like loaded right up. And before I even joined your party, I was just sitting there and I'm like, where's the menu? I'm confused. Like once I got through, the whole, you gotta pick your subtitles,
speech
subtitles,
to text, that bugged people.
Speech to text, stuff like that. Like, which is not important to me. Like, I want to see like sensitivity and stuff, which they didn't have. I didn't go into the settings at all because once I started playing, I was like, oh, this is kind of perfect. It just feels perfect. It was definitely 60 FPS. I don't care what anybody says. If anybody says otherwise, I play Gears all the time. I've been playing Gears since, the 1X being 60 FPS.
Gears in there.
It's 60 FPS. It feels perfect. Like, this is what Left 4 Dead always should have been. And they brought in, things coming out of the ground. Like, I was like, what the hell? And then it was like a constant, World War Z horde but you were able to down them. And like sometimes they would overtake you, and that's where you had to call your teammates. And dude, game was
that
fucking
boat,
ridiculous.
that ferry boat, man, that was crucial.
Dude, and you have to do like I said, you know, at the beginning of the podcast, is that, you know, me and Flamish got to a point where we had to build like we're in Call of Duty freaking zombies. And we were building like, you know, and I didn't understand it. And he's like, I gotta get off. But I'm like, oh yeah, like I didn't realize that we were going into that realm. Like I'm like, oh, I'm just used to shooting them now. And then all of a sudden I'm like, I gotta keep them out, or we can't do what we have to do. Like that was pretty cool. Like they're thinking of like some wild shit, and to engage, you know, multiple people all the time. That's what it feels like. Yes, there's somewhat of a story there, but I feel like it can be different with like each individual person in there. And I think that's pretty cool. And I think, I mean, kudos to Twitter Rock, because I don't think anybody else had anything to do with what their approach is right now. But I mean, the cards, I kind of understand it, but I don't. Yeah. It's a little weird. You know, like you basically, I almost look at it as if you play Gears, you understand cards and how they work, especially in Horde. So it gives you boosts, it gives you more health, more damage, stuff like that.
And it's boost to the group as well. So
yeah, oh no, there's like team boost, there's a heavy weapon boost. Like I feel like that's the way they're going. Which I've gotten used to, like Gears Horde at least, like not any other game mode, but just Horde feels really good with the cards once you learn and understand how it's. But I played a lot of Division, so I'm not saying it's for everybody, but you know, Division had the same, especially Division 1, very in depth with all that stuff. You know, like attachments, everything. Like it was very in depth. And I feel like this is kind of like a subtle step back from that, you know, but in a Left 4 Dead setting. But at the same time, it doesn't feel that much Left 4 Dead. I never had hordes of zombies. Like I had like 60 in front of me. I'm just sitting there with the axe, just going. And once I ran out of stamina, it turned into like. You know what I mean? So they give you reasons not to do that, but at the same time, don't forget about those melee weapons if you're playing this beta.
You were completely covered. Your character was completely covered in zombie guts when you were using the axe and like the bat and stuff like that.
And I want to kind of finish it like this spot. It gives me, because of the A button and the way it plays with like this parkour element. It's not a lot of parkour like Dying Light, but it reminds you of it. But the gunplay is much better in this game, and that makes it exciting for me.
Oh yeah, definitely, and that is something I will co-sign with. The gunplay, it's simplistic, but yet it is right on point. You know, the movement and all that good stuff. It is definitely for people who are Left 4 Dead fans. This is the game you've been waiting for, guys. Absolutely the game you've been waiting for. And speaking of waiting for, I'm waiting for Twitch to give me 4 codes. So I will be checking to see if I get codes to the early access beta. If for some rhyme or reason I don't get it before the end of this show, I will release them into the wild on Twitter. So if I can't put them in the chat, I will put them on Twitter. But I am trying to get codes for you guys. Shout out to Dragonheart Yobi hitting up that super chat. And I was contemplating getting somebody else to say this, but you know what? You know, Yobi, you're my brother. I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna read it out, man. Get to it. I'm gonna ignore Mr. K Mega, and I'm gonna do it for you, Yobi. I'm gonna do it for you. K Mega, aka Phil Spencer's secret advisor, aka Master of the Sound Bit, aka the King of the A Button, aka the co-owner and founder of the next podcast. Co-owner? AKA the Don's Poppy, BKA Pappy. You say it with, gotta say it with the accent, right? Pappy.
Yeah, you gotta say it with the Pappy.
All right, the Don's Pappy.
At least with Mega, we might actually get paid.
BKA L Mega. L is for legendary.
Yes.
AKA OG of GRG. Yo, shout out to you, brother, for that super chat.
Excellent.
Shout out.
Excellent.
Shout out to Master Clowns hitting up that super chat one more time, man. Oh my goodness, yo! You see what you did, Yobi? You just lit a match under him, man. You just gave him energy, yo. What are you doing, bro?
It's funny because you can't even really hear it, so.
I know it's not that loud, but that's okay.
It's like the sound bar is behind K Mega trying to get onto the mic. Like, come on, man, give me some airtime here, yeah.
Head too big for that, but anyway.
But so hopefully I can get those codes. If I get those codes, I am gonna drop them in the chat for you guys. Like I said, if you are a fan of Left 4 Dead, you would love Back for Blood. And the newer things really got me, man. The really tall zombie with kind of like the club for an arm. Who can surprisingly climb buildings. So that was interesting. It's a lot of fun. I will be playing it as much as I can over the weekend, usually after work. So if you guys want to join up with me, it'll be kind of like after 8, between 8 and 11 over the weekend. I should be playing this game. So, but on that note, we do have other topics, and I'm trying to think about where we should start this next one. You know what? Let's get into business and financials real quick, because I posted something on Twitter. It seems that, the information about PlayStation's last quarter, Sony's last quarter finances came out. And there were some interesting things in there. And one of them was the fact that 65 million games were sold for the PlayStation 5. Now, here's the hook for me, because so many extreme PlayStation fans talk about exclusives being the end-all, be-all, and that's why people buy consoles. Out of those 65 million, only 10 million were PlayStation first-party exclusives. Now, when I heard this, I didn't think about the word quarter. All right, and I thought about this was from like the launch of the PlayStation, which if that was the case, there would be some really kind of like crazy ideas coming out of my mouth right now when it comes down to it. But 10 million last quarter, that's basically one exclusive for everybody that owns a PS5 right now. I don't know, let's start with Pred, because he's in the finance. Pred, What did these numbers say to you? Is it something like I look at this like whoa, hold up, man, because I've been told that the Ratchet and Clanks and all that good stuff, that those are the bee's knees. That's what people are getting this system for, and then come to find out like only one exclusive per how many PS5s came out. Does this say anything to you? Is this a caution light? Is this a yellow light in terms of what's going on over at Sony, or no?
I would just say, like, every exclusive isn't gonna appeal to every gamer out there. Like we get caught up in what happens on social media a lot. Ratchet and Clank may not have, appealed to everybody. Again, this is a quarter. This is the whole thing. Ratchet and Clank might not have appealed to everybody out there. And there's other reasons you could throw in there. I could put the tinfoil hat on and say, okay, well, these motherfuckers can't get PlayStation 5s. They can't do this, can't do that. I just don't think Ratchet and Clank was a seller that they thought it was going to be. And that right there is why there was only those exclusives didn't sell as well. Like it's not like I'll use a game like Flight Simulator. We all played it. Had that game sold for cash and we didn't get it in Game Pass, how many people do you think would have even thought about picking that game up?
I wouldn't have picked it up.
I wouldn't have either. I wouldn't have touched that shit. Like I had fun with it, but it's not a $70, $60, $70 game that I'm gonna buy. And that kind of leads into other things too, like the Game Pass part of it. That gives us opportunities to play games like that without subscription. Whereas on Sony's side, they're not dropping stuff like that day and date. So I'll just say the numbers don't make sense to me when it comes to the subscribers that console has. If you just only look at social media, you would think that everybody, all these PlayStation stands, I hate saying that word, that's K-Mega's word, but you would think all these PlayStation stands, if the only thing you ever did was look at Twitter, that they buy every single exclusive that's out there,
For real.
and they don't. They really don't. You know, it has a
Returnal is an exclusive, and the last time we checked, that was at just a little over 500,000, like 560,000 units sold. So that didn't sell that well either.
Those games aren't appealing to people, you know, and that's what I'm saying. Like all those, just because it's an exclusive, because a lot of people like myself, I had a PlayStation 4 for their exclusives. If they're not dropping exclusives regularly, like it's almost like a Game Pass service, you know, like if you're not putting games out that people want to play, then the system's useless to you. Like, and so like if I don't want to play Returnal, I don't want to play Ratchet and Clank. I'm only looking for, you know, God of War or Horizon, you know, and if those games aren't coming out, I ain't gonna buy the bullshit they're gonna give out. Like I'm not gonna buy the Returnals. I'm not gonna buy the Ratchet and Clank because I never played that series before. So, you know, a lot of these people are like, okay, that might look cartoony to me. I don't want to play it. Or Returnal looks kind of hard. I've heard bad negative press on it. I ain't gonna buy it. You know, they don't have another option other than to just people just buying games. They have to buy the games. They don't have an option like Game Pass, like we do, to where they can try it out with their subscription service and throw it in the trash later. Because I would venture to say a lot of people aren't playing Flight Simulator right now. They're trying it out. They're not religiously putting hours into it every hour.
I have a feeling you're playing right now, though, sir.
I'm not. I'm watching football because the Cowboys are playing. But like with Ratchet, you know, like I think a lot of people maybe just be waiting on the price to drop. You know, $70. And that's another aspect you have to take into account too. Like there's a lot of factors you could throw into it. Like, you know, people not working, $70, not having a console. Because again, this game was only on PlayStation 5. It wasn't on PlayStation 4. Like you had to have a PlayStation 5 to get this, to play this game. So everybody's not got a PlayStation 5 right now. I mean, they're hard to find. You know, they're sitting in warehouses somewhere waiting on some reseller to sell it. So, you know, you can, again, tinfoil hat here. I'm looking at all the options here, and I just think that A, a lot of people just weren't interested in Ratchet and Clank, and then B, people don't have the console to play the game, and that kind of adds to the mix. So, and then with it being $70 and, you know, only like maybe 6 to 8 hours of gameplay,
we'll give them the benefit of the doubt. We'll say 10 hours for Ratchet and Clank.
I'll say 10. I'll give them. No, I ain't gonna give them 10. I'll give them because I've seen people beat it in 5. So I'll give them 8. You know, but even if you give them 10, there's just so many other factors into why that game didn't sell. And not saying it won't like reach numbers later, but with it only being on PlayStation 5, and people don't have a console right now, people can't get it. The people that have the console that want to play the game played it. And that's what you're stuck with. And that's why those numbers look so skewed right now. And it's making people, it's probably making Sony question, like, why didn't we put this on PlayStation 4? Why didn't we put this on PC? And then I would also say that, you know, they're probably looking at Game Pass now, like, man, we need that. There's, and I don't know if this is a topic later that we're going to talk about either, but like you talk about those numbers for engagement, like the subscription services, like, you know, people are kind of slowly transitioning. Like you see those numbers now dropping. Those are gamers who flip-flopped before, and they're coming back to Xbox's side. That's why you see that difference.
Dude, you are like hitting on every single topic, like down the line, just little taps on every single topic.
Some of those gamers are probably like, yo, that's why you see, like, when you see something drop, you see something raised in another section. So you see these subscriptions dropping, they're probably picking. That's why Xbox won NPD this past years, like past month or whatever. So like
the money
those numbers, those numbers are changing because people are swapping back over to the Xbox side, and it ain't gonna resonate just yet. Like give it a couple of months. But if this becomes a trend, then that's exactly what's happening. Those gamers are going, they're getting the console they can find on the shelves, they're getting the Series S. You know, they're getting into Game Pass subscriptions. They're dropping their PlayStation stuff and they're moving over to the Xbox side because that's basically what happened from the 360 era. It's just happening in reverse now, and that's what you're seeing. Those are the numbers you're seeing change right now.
Yeah, even a YouTuber out there that was he became kind of famous for saying nobody is gonna buy an Xbox to play Bethesda games, and he just recently came out with a video where he's like, I just got me a Series S. Like, it was hilarious. Yo, shout out to RG Viper for putting that out there on Twitter, man.
Yeah, that was great.
Dude, I was laughing so bad because they put the old video in with the new video.
Yeah.
And it's like, wow, really? Yo, shout out to Sir X, man, hitting up that super chat. That is right, brother. And he is doing that while he's at work. And I got to agree with his super chat here. He said, oh, God, I'm going to barf at work on K Mega Praise. That's right, bro. That's right, man.
Wow.
I'm going to try to make sure it doesn't happen. I'm going to try to make sure it doesn't happen, yo. I don't know. I find it interesting because, like I said, there's so many people on social media saying that, you know, exclusives are what sells these consoles, and people buy the exclusives like wholeheartedly. And I'm like, man, you look at that number, and it doesn't really. It tells me that the PS5 is more the Call of Duty box, the way, you know, Xbox used to be at a certain point in time. But let's go to Dark Optimus. He has been so absurdly quiet. Dark, 65 million games sold on PS5. 10 million were exclusives. What do you take from that, sir?
Sounds about right. I mean, the you know, like Pred said, the console's not you know, out to the masses as much as it should be. You know, you got people out there that are scalping these things, and
you know, you think that's a big number though? Like,
I don't know. Honestly, I'm not really sure on that. I'm not sure. I'm not gonna really pinpoint where that number is.
Yeah, I can't co-sign on that because I don't know, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, I mean, we'll get into it when we talk about the gamers jumping ship, but because you might be surprised at what I'm gonna say on that one. But yeah, this whole like you know, exclusives sell thing, that's not the case. I mean, it gives people incentive to buy the game, to buy the console. Yeah, for sure. You know, like there's you know, it gives people a reason to go out and be like, oh yeah, I want to get that console for this game, or I want to get that console for this game. But it's not their bread and butter anymore. You know, it used to be, yeah, back in the day. Back when honestly, I think it was back before the internet was prevalent. That's when it was really like
back before Al Gore invented the internet, by the
way. Well, back before, you know, we had anything like Xbox Live or PlayStation, you know, Plus or whatever, you know, all that stuff. Before we had any of that stuff, you know, yeah, exclusives sold like gangbusters. But now, you know, it's the top, you know, it's the top games that are, you know, really like pulling him forward, like Fortnite, you know, Battlefield, Call of Duty, things like that. You know, especially free to play games
with free to play elements. That right there, bro.
That right there is the biggest seller, is free to play, because they know that people are they're gonna play the game, right? But then they're gonna be like, oh, I'm playing the game, but I kind of want to get this skin, or I kind of want to get this, or I kind of want to get that. And there's nothing wrong with that. I think, you know, spend your money the way you want to spend it, and people are just, you know, they're more inclined to, you know, and this isn't a bad thing. They're more inclined to play multiplayer games. Even though I'm not much of a multiplayer gamer, I can recognize that single player isn't the viable option anymore for a lot of gamers. Especially since, you know, a lot of these games are getting bigger and bigger. You know, a lot of these, especially these single player games, they're getting like really ridiculously big, that people are just like playing them for a little while and then dropping them, you know. And then, you know, you got things like Game Pass that, you know, people are going in, they're trying these games, and, you know, if they like it, then they play it and beat it and move on, you know, to the next game. But if they don't like it, they could just delete it and not even worry about it. Not even be like, oh yeah, you know, I don't have I didn't spend 50, 60, or $70 on this game. And that's huge, man. That is huge. And it's just it's I think the whole exclusives thing with especially the PlayStation community, it's just ridiculous. There's times where I'm like, I'll be on Twitter and I'll be like,
dude, whenever you make a sound like that, when you're like on Twitter, and I'm like I can literally picture you doing that. Like, oh man, really?
It's because it gets just ridiculous, man. It's just like, okay, I get that you enjoyed the exclusive, but not everybody likes that stuff. Not everybody likes Ratchet and Clank. I enjoyed Ratchet and Clank, but not everybody likes Returnal, and I didn't like Returnal. To be honest, like it's not a great game. Like, to be honest, to me it was not.
Yo, guys, I need a soundbite of that. Yo, Dark's like, it's not a great game. I need that.
It's a $70 game that looks pretty, but it's not fun. To me, it was not a fun game to play, to be honest.
Okay.
And I think it's very telling that where gamers kind of lie right now with free to play and more multiplayer type of centric games.
Yeah, it's definitely you can definitely see it's a sense of that younger generation getting older, that generation that was on their mom's like cell phones and tablets and stuff, kind of like growing up. You can definitely see an influence in that generation in gaming as a whole, and it's something that I've said. I think K Mega Cosine said it as well. Like the gaming industry
has advocated about it, so
the gaming industry is changing. Like, it is changing. That wallet is getting passed down to more like in the younger generation that came up playing those other games and getting into like the free to plays and stuff like that, and we're seeing their influence within the gaming industry and what's going on there. So that's a great point, man. I do want to move on. Let's go to K Mega real quick about this, because like I want to kind of bunch this all together, because this is going to culminate in kind of like the big topic when it comes down to it. But K Mega, like I said, 65 million games sold. PlayStation 5 last quarter, 10 million were exclusives. Like, what's your take on this, man? Is this something that the Sony faithful should be like, what's going on here?
Yeah, no, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, if these numbers were Xbox numbers, if let's say that Xbox got to 10 million first, and all the titles that came out this year, estimated to 10 million, what do you think that the PlayStation community is going to say? Nobody buys their games. So, Ratchet and Clank did, I think it broke records, or it did better than expected, because I think it was like 1.1 million, something like that. The last time that I checked, it was somewhere around that. And then what you've seen with Returnal is just what I said, what a lot of other people with common sense said, is like, look, I mean, this game looks fantastic. I would play the game, looks fun. But it's not going to be one of those games that gravitates to everybody. If that price was around $30 to $40, I think that it would sold a lot more than what it did. But the numbers just start adding up. I mean, I don't want to, go and spill on other topics that we got going on, but it's just something within. It just shows right now that what PlayStation is offering is just not gravitating with the PlayStation audience like you would think it would. And listen, I mean, you had what's come out this year for PlayStation? You had Ratchet and Clank, you had the All-Star game.
Destruction All-Star?
Yeah, you had Destruction All-Star. You also had, and that's all.
I thought that was like
that was February. No, that was
February.
Oh yeah, you're right,
February.
Oh crap.
Yeah, that came out. Then also Guilty Gear Strive, Returnal. The Medium is on there now.
No, the medium doesn't come out until September.
Okay. I thought it was coming. I thought it already came out. Okay, my bad.
No.
And then you got Ratchet and Clank. And then there's a bunch of other titles that's in there that a lot of people aren't really talking or bragging about. The Tribes game, Tribes of Midgard. I think that's
Midgard. I think that's also
Midgard.
on Xbox, isn't it?
No, it's on PlayStation only.
Really?
It might eventually come. Yeah, no, because I talked to the devs at E3. Yeah, they were only just slated for PlayStation. And they said if anything changed, we'll let you know. But it's only for PlayStation right now, and PC. It'll go to PC. But that so and that's a game that's intriguing because it's got a really cool concept. It's like up to 10 players online. So that looks really cool. But again, nobody's really talking about any of those games. Ratchet and Clank got a lot. Ratchet and Clank and Returnal got a lot of fanboy buzz. But the truth of the matter is that Ratchet and Clank, if that's the game that is supposed to be your champion for 2021, then Xbox is gonna just skeet through this really easily. You know what I'm saying? And I mean that slide through, they're gonna skeet through. They're gonna just skeet. They're gonna be in a really fantastic position. So let's I'm just being honest. I mean, Kina's gonna be interesting to see
because
now
that game
looks fantastic. But again, here's another one of those things is that where people were really, really hyped about it, and I'm hyped about it. I want to play it. I want to definitely play it. It's just that now people are understanding it's not like that big budget type of game. And so, therefore, how long is this game really? How long is this game? Or
dude, you just had me thinking about that because with Ratchet and Clank, everybody talks about the graphics and stuff like that. Now, Kina got some nasty graphics, but if the budget's not behind it, like how big is that game really going to
be? Yeah, like and like if the game is a good, let's say 10 to 20 hour, game to play. Well, how limited is it?
Because like $30 then.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. So again, if they're going to charge,
it is only $30.
Okay, right. So then that gives that holds for pause. Sifu, I think that game looks amazing. I think that's what the game that karate game is called. But that game got delayed.
Yeah, that's not. It's not until next year.
So I mean, like, and I.
The only games they have is Deathloop and Kena.
Yeah, Deathloop and Kena. That's it. And then they're going to be, of course, marketing for their third party, but that's it. So again, what's this telling me is that what PlayStation is offering right now just isn't good enough. It's not holding its weight exclusive wise. Next year looks like it's going to be a powerhouse, but then again, Sony does this. They'll talk about those games, talk about them, and they'll brag about them, and then next thing you know, boom, they'll delay them. They'll delay some of these games again. So when you got the competition, and that's Nintendo and Xbox dropping these games out, now there's a lot of attention going on with PlayStation, within the PlayStation community, because now what I'm starting to hear with people who are, that's people that are really not the stand. They're just PlayStation fans first. That they said, look, we want that diversity, and that's something that we've been kind of talking about with those templates and everything, kind of looking the same, the over the shoulder, blah 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 blah. But everybody was so hyped about the single player experience. The media was trying to over here downgrade anything that was multiplayer. It was all about the single player experience, and what happened is that it seemed like there's a lot of gamers that just and also with the developers, they doubled down on multiplayer games, and people still play, and where the money is mostly generated is in multiplayer games. So it didn't work. It got PlayStation to where they needed to be for last gen, but that's also because everything else that happened in between to give PlayStation the win for last gen. But when you really look at it overall, it's that when the media was even on their side, we're trying to say the single player games are the darling, they shouldn't go away. Multiplayer games are the cancer of the gaming community and stuff like that. That didn't work. And what you're seeing is more and more of these multiplayer games coming out, and then now they're becoming free to play. this is where people want to be. And you throwing out $70 games when we're still in this situation with the pandemic and people are still trying to, get their stuff together with going on. And then other people that are just now going to work. I mean, I don't know, man. It's not a good look for 2020 for PlayStation, in my opinion. And listen, kudos for them for hitting that 10 million or whatever, but you got 10 million and your revenue is not, you don't have one game that just stands out, exclusive, I should say, that just stands out over its competition or over anything else that you have. It's just telling right now that Sony's just in a down spot right now.
Yo, K-Mega, real quick before I move on to somebody else, I do want to let you know, when it came to this game right here, Cyberpunk 2077, I now know why you could not put this game down, yo, for real. Like, dude, yo, this game is absolute fire. Yo, the side missions are are just as detailed as the main mission is, and like the characters, so much personality in this game, so many like unique things to do, unique things to see. This game is absolutely amazing, man. I cannot believe
It's a great game. It's a great game. That's why I was saying, like, when we talked about it and everything, and I understand that everybody dogged it out, but I was like, look, man, it's to me, it's a two-headed race. It's Ghost of Tsushima or it's Cyberpunk. I understand that The Last of Us 2 was out there and it won, but my games of the year. What'd you say?
I said it shouldn't have.
I mean, some PlayStation fans will disagree with you, but I mean, just some fans, some gamers, I shouldn't say just label it just PlayStation fans, but gamers out there would disagree with you. And listen, and it is what it is. That's why I say, look, don't take it with a grain of salt with these VGAs. Just enjoy it just for the fact of gaming. But yeah, clearly, after me playing all three games, and I'm coming away and I'm just looking at how great Sucker Punch did with Ghost of Tsushima. That story was amazing. And then I'm looking at Cyberpunk and how great that story was, and just how in depth everything was, but again, a lot of people didn't get a chance to play it because it was so broken.
Well,
it was amazing. It was amazing.
K-Mega, just real quick, I know you fell in love with the Mantis arms, with the arms with the blades that came out. Dude, you got to go back in, and instead of the Mantis arms, the gorilla hands. The gorilla hands
I didn't play with the gorilla hands that much.
They are
it was
insane.
The whips, it was the little strings, and the mantis arms is what.
Dude, you gotta mess with the gorilla hands, man. You wind it back, and then when you hit the it is hilarious, man.
Well, I'm gonna do a second playthrough for sure. So
when they do the soft relaunch, man, definitely. Let's go to Crispy on this. Crispy, again, 65 million games. 10 million games sold were exclusive. Is this something that those PlayStation defenders should be worried about right now?
Exclusive. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like, the only problem with Sony's exclusives right now is, especially recently, 0 of them have any type of multiplayer. And I'm not saying, in the past, like even PlayStation 4, Last of Us, when they came out with the I don't even know what to call it at this point.
Factions.
No, the Factions hasn't come out yet.
That's not out yet.
You're talking about The Least of Us 2.
No,
the Last of Us, the first
one
had factions, but are you thinking of Uncharted? Uncharted had multiplayer.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Why do I have to think about this shit? It should have been recently, right?
Yeah.
I mean, logically, there is a point in time where the majority is going to overtake the minority. And I think that's where we're at this point. Unfortunately, Sony has just put themselves and pitted them in the corner and said, okay, we are going to make great single-player exclusives. And you know what? That's awesome. And I think that's why they're charging people $70. Because if they don't get that money up front, they ain't getting nothing else from it. So I'll give them credit for that, actually. That's kind of like, I'm stone, you're a stick, and you're going to break. Well, guess what? The community, the actual gaming community, not console centric. Now, I care about one plastic box or the other. The actual gaming community just cares about being able to play games. And at this point, Microsoft, Xbox, Game Pass is allowing you to play games that you didn't want to buy anyway. But if it was on PlayStation, you'd be paying $70 at some point in time until they say, "Oh, let's drop the price because we need money." It's a bunch of bullshit, dude. Like, start looking at the company you play. If you only have a PlayStation, I would be saying something. You know what I mean? Just say something. Just be like, this isn't right. You know, I mean, SSDs. Oh, it's all your fault if you install this SSD. They gave you supposedly a list. Well, guess what? Seagate's that smart, and they haven't released half of them yet.
Yo,
so,
Crispy,
how about
Viper in the chat is a killer. He said Bug Snacks is a system seller. Oh man,
that is what we call greatness. You know what's even freaking funnier, dude? And this is where people are ignoring. Okay, Halo Infinite has a free-to-play multiplayer that is the first console exclusive in our entire lives that has ever been free to play. Nobody.
We'll say first party. Not
no. Console exclusive. Console. I didn't say anything. I said console exclusive. If it's console exclusive, that means for the console. There's no other console that can have it. Well, I'll bet you $1,000 by the end of the year, Nintendo's gonna have Halo Infinite on it.
Oh wow! You said $1,000?
I don't think that's true, Crispy, about the console exclusive.
Well, hold on, he said 1,000. He said a G note, man.
I think actually, Lawbreakers, that shitty ass game, was free to play.
Was it free?
No,
to
it was multiplayer.
Was it?
It wasn't console exclusive.
I played the beta to Lawbreakers.
It was on PC as well.
Yeah, but Halo's on PC.
Halo's on PC.
No, Halo's on PC after. I'm talking about console exclusive. Lawbreakers never got to the point where they had a license with PlayStation. That's why they couldn't. He was talking all that shit because he's trying to get PlayStation gamers on his side. He ain't fucking stupid. Dude, I was on a Twitter thread with him and he apologized to all the Xbox. And he said, I wasn't thinking right.
Well,
I'm just saying, dude, you say shit and whatever, but
I think it's unprecedented for a first-party studio to come out with a free-to-play. I'll go that far with you, Crispy, but I'm not sure if Lawbreakers. I'm not sure if it was free-to-play. Yo, chat, look it up real quick. Let me know, man. I know I'm in front of a computer, but if you can, definitely let me know. I know I played the beta. I actually had a lot of fun with that game when I did have a PS4. Yo, shout out to Fame Entertainment, because he was the one that was in with me playing that beta, and we had a lot of fun. And then somebody came in and just started asking me why I was on PlayStation. Like I couldn't play it because like I like Xbox or something. It was
actually
weird.
I think that was me.
No, that wasn't you. It was a girl. I remember.
Oh, was it?
Yes.
It wasn't you then.
It wasn't you. Now, I do know, Dark, sometimes you can sound feminine, but it wasn't you, bro. Oh, look at that. Flight Simulator. Look at that, Predator. That's so weird. Flight Simulator in the gameplay. Oh, my goodness. Yo, shout out to Dragonheart Yobi one more time. He said Cyberpunk 2077 is my favorite game from last generation. 1,000 out of 1,000, that game. 6 to 8 playthroughs, total of 250 plus hours. Aside from bugs, it's a classic. That is right, bro. Like, dare I say, a masterpiece, man. Like, when you take away the bugs, I guess some bugs really killed it for people. Shout out to Sir X-Man hitting up the super chat. He says, hear about the new game for 2022. Pimp Daddy K Mega. I'm not sure if that's the name, what? Pimp Daddy K Mega, or it's called Pimp Daddy and he's talking to you, K Mega. I'm not sure.
Yeah, no. If it's going to be a game, you know what I'm saying, if my son the Don is working on my game, it's going to be
30 pumps per second.
It's going to be King Fisk, and it's going to be AKA Daddy Longleg. But that's okay. I never heard of it, but yeah, I mean, I would take a game called Pimp Daddy. Yeah,
Yo, Viper said that Lawbreakers was $60 on PS4.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, Lawbreakers. I was eating, so I that's why I didn't go in there. Yeah, no, it was yeah, you had to pay for it. I think eventually, once it knew it was going to its demise, it was free to play. But I thought that
later on. Yeah, okay.
But I thought that was on only PC, because you still had to buy it on PlayStation. PlayStation wasn't having that. But no, it was $60. You had to pay for it, because I played the beta and I enjoyed the game too. I thought the game was pretty cool, but again, that's what tripped me out, was like, this game is not. I do not see PlayStation gamers jumping on this. This doesn't even scream PlayStation, but it is what it is. I mean, business talk, bullshit walk, and it was just and again, like, it played okay. It played pretty good on the PlayStation 4. It just played a lot better on the PC because it was more built for the PC. But no, you had to pay for it. So it eventually went to free to play. I'd never seen it go free to play on PlayStation. I just only seen it go free to play on.
I think it went free to play across the board, if I remember correctly. Like,
I'm gonna look that up.
It's been a while. Like, the funny thing about this is, guys, who would have thought we would have had a quick Lawbreakers discussion? Yo, guys, hit that thumbs up button. Yo, you never know what you're going to get from this show. But, guys, I do want to move on here. And this is something that I consider more interesting. Again, it takes this topic, it leads it into another one, because I've seen a huge wave of YouTubers talking about their switching over to Xbox from PlayStation. And I'm not just talking people that are finicky and will do it for clicks or anything like that. I'm talking like people 26 years playing PlayStation. Another one was 20 years playing PlayStation. Like, these people have been diehard PlayStation fans, but when it came down to it, they said that PlayStation is showing that they no longer care about their consumers once again. Talking about the $70, talking about there's so many different things that they were talking about, and with the coming holiday, saying that PlayStation really doesn't have anything for them, which I find it funny, because there are people out there on social media that talk about Xbox has no games or anything, but now all of a sudden, coming this holiday, we're getting Forza Horizon, we're getting Halo Infinite with free-to-play multiplayer and the campaign available on Game Pass. And PlayStation really doesn't have anything that kind of goes with that scenario. And I see these YouTubers that would champion PlayStation, and then some of them that just, had fun playing on the console they prefer, getting really upset with what Sony is doing. And now with the diversity that's over here on Xbox and Game Pass, dude, guys, one thing I can say, Game Pass is really spreading throughout the gaming community. These YouTubers, when they actually got their hands on the system and then got into Game Pass, nothing but praise for this service that they're doing over here. I'm just wondering.
Before you go to, let me go ahead and tell about. It was never free. It never got free to play on PlayStation, but the price was off. The price was $30. The price was $30. It wasn't $60. And because I'm reading it right here. Lawbreakers. It says Lawbreakers is going to go free to play on Steam, and it was spotted, and yet but the game is set to be shut down in September. This was in 2020, and then it also said the game was previously priced at $29.99 on Steam and on PlayStation 4. And then at this point, it was saying would this game possibly be able to be free to play on PlayStation? It says unlikely, because since the support for Lawbreakers is going to be shut down September 14th. Well, So for anybody who's paid that price, but it was the publisher's decision to go $30. It was clear. It was everybody else that wanted to go free to play, but it was Nexon that wanted to charge $30.
Halo Infinite is the first people. Thank you.
Hey, well, Crispy had to chime in on that. He's like, "Yep, that's right. I'm right." But not only with that, but it just seems that when it comes to the SSD.
My boy Tanaka book. Here we go.
Oh, you look at that, bro.
Look at Timo Cyrus, baby. Come on now, Vale. Look at him. Let's go. I'm sorry.
I gotta ask you guys what you guys think about this wave of YouTubers. Not only that, you look at the news that's been around Sony. It has not been pleasant lately. Of course, there are extremists out there trying to spin it into a positive manner. Like even with the SSD, people are like, "Oh, you don't know how to use a screwdriver." But when you look deeper into it, and there are videos saying that this is the first thing you do when you get a PS5, and they talk about switching the fan out and putting a better fan in. Like, any more news like that, and the PS5 is going to have to come with its own screwdriver for the customer to make all these modifications to it that they need to do. But it just seems like there's been a lot of kind of like not so good news when it comes to PlayStation, and then you got these YouTubers switching over. Oh man, is this the beginning of this turn? And another thing I want to point out is what we're seeing on Xbox side is the beginning of these games dropping. That's not going to stop after the fact, because you look at their 23 studios, multiple teams doing different games within these studios, and how they really want their first party to be the backbone of Game Pass. They're going to just start rolling out game after game after game when it comes to all these studios. That's why I'm looking at this as this might be... There's the winds of change are blowing in the gaming industry. But I want to know what the panel thinks about this. I'm going to go to Dark Optimus first. Dark, what do you take from all these YouTubers and what's going on? Them switching over to the Xbox, loving Game Pass, not being so happy with PlayStation, and do you think with some of the things I just said that there's a change in the air, and Xbox is grabbing that mind share?
It's understandable because I'm getting bored of PlayStation.
What happened? Yeah,
I said I'm getting bored of PlayStation.
Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be right back.
I am shocked. Dude, please explain, because I did not expect that.
It's just like, okay, I understand that you're like delaying stuff, but yet you don't have a service that's like Game Pass. Yeah, granted you have PlayStation Now, but you don't have games that are coming day and date. You don't have like, games that are coming this fall to a subscription service that you only pay $14.99 for, or $9.99 for if you just want to get.
He's seeing the light, people.
You're getting these games like Psychonauts 2.
Ooh.
You're getting Back for Blood. You're not having to pay an extra, out of pocket for these games. And it's understandable that people are upset and they're jumping to the next, the next best thing, which is the Xbox. I was like advocately, like, I know I turned down Pred's offer to send me an Xbox. That's just because I was like, I couldn't do it at the time.
So and I was just like, are you sharing DM information right now? I don't think anybody.
No. But I was gonna get something from Pred, but it was just like, I started thinking about it. I was like, man, I'm not really like I want to play. There's certain games I do want to play on the PlayStation, but there's so much more that's gravitating me towards the Xbox. With the way that I mean, you guys just got Flight Simulator. Like, I kind of want to try that out. Like, you guys got the Ascent. I kind of want to try that out. You got fucking Psychonauts coming later. That I really want to play that game.
Well, you can buy it for your PlayStation, but we get to try it with
could.
Game Pass. Yeah,
I could buy it, but I mean, if I don't have to buy it, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if I don't have to buy it, then why am I? Because I mean, I already have an Xbox, Xbox One X, but I mean, I was looking. I actually tried to get one today on Walmart.com, and just every time I refreshed, man, every time I tried to put it in a fucking cart, it was just gone every single fucking time. I was so mad. But it's just it's getting to that point to where, I mean, like, Game Pass, it's just like, you guys have gotten, in the past couple of weeks, you've gotten some games that are like, and you got indie games that I really wanted to play, like Raji and The Last Stop. I wanted to play that game too. Which Raji is actually, I think, is up for a I think it's nominated for Game Awards already. I saw that somewhere.
Raji's.
It makes sense. It's highly cultural, and like there is. It looks like an awesome game as well. You know what I'm saying?
It is beautiful too. Yeah, graphically.
And you guys are, and that's the thing. Like, it's Xbox is just getting games that I'm like,
Xbox is killing it right now, bro.
Well, yeah, I mean, they're gonna kill. They're gonna continue to kill it too. Like, next year, like, I mean, well, I mean, I'm just gonna say if here. I'm not saying that this is gonna happen. Even if Halo Infinite didn't come out this year, Xbox would still be killing it with the games. Like, they'd still be coming out with just a ton of stuff coming, and next year would be even bigger. I mean, that's the thing. Like, Forza Horizon 5's coming. I want to play that. Like, I want to play that on the best console I can play it on, and that's the Series X. And I should have gotten the one that Pred was gonna offer me.
He's already regretting it. Yo, Pred, it's less than 24 hours. Less than 24 hours. He's like, I should have got that one.
I was thinking about it. I was like, you know what? I could have actually done it, and I just didn't fucking do it.
Man, as much money you spent on his OnlyFans, man, he should have just hooked you up with it.
Oh man, he's out to give up that ass. Man, come to bend over.
Wow.
But no, I mean, and that's the thing. Like, it's just one of those things, man. You like, I'm not regretting buying the PlayStation. I think having it is great. Like, I'm gonna keep it. It's just, I see what Xbox is doing, and I'm just like, fuck. Like, I want an Xbox because of what they're doing. Like I wasn't a firm advocate of Game Pass, and now I'm like seeing like how much of a value it's becoming, and I'm just like, fuck, man. Like, I should have tried harder to get an Xbox at the beginning, but I didn't, because I was like, well, there's games that
are like, I'm gonna play that Miles Morales for a year and a half, man. Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. There was like, there was games that we were promised that were coming out in 2021 that aren't coming out now in 2021. They're being delayed, and then, that's the thing. Like, if they're being delayed, how, where are they going to be delayed to?
It's starting to look like the beginning of the PS4 era, to be really honest with you, man. Like, when it comes down to it,
and that's a big problem. That is a big problem.
Well, that's why I said PlayStation got a lot of. to do all this stuff to win, it takes a lot of luck. But you know what I'm saying, and Xbox just handed it to PlayStation on a platter. So did Nintendo, because they were still with the Wii U. So PlayStation had all the was holding all the cards when it first came out last year.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Like, that's the thing about Xbox. I believe they were spending that whole entire generation. That's why there wasn't very many games coming out. You know, there was some, but it wasn't like a ton. They were spending that whole entire generation working for this generation. They were like, we're gonna blow them away with this fucking generation coming up. We're not playing no fucking patty cake with fucking PlayStation. We're coming out swinging, and they're proving it. PlayStation is not right now. I'm sorry if that hurts your feelings, PlayStation fanboys. But
he's not sorry, by the way.
No, I'm not really. I'm really not. If it hurts your feelings, oh well, because
if my opinion hurts your feelings,
yeah. These games should have been coming out. If we were promised them. Like, come on, man, we were fucking promised these fucking games, and they're being fucking delayed, dude. It's ridiculous.
Yo, real quick, yo, shout out to Dragonheart. Yo, be hitting up that super chat one more time. Thank you so much, brother, for the support and all the love. He says, K Mega called this a year and some change ago with the changing of the guard, right, Mega? Like, so he wants.
Thank you. Absolutely, thank you, Yobi.
Man, Yobi. He was the only one, Yobi.
Oh, come on, man! You know I've been on this train for a long time.
Oh, hell no, he wasn't.
Have you? I don't know about that.
Okay, all right.
Yo, and shout out to Verge Brizzle as well. Good to see you in the chat, yo. I haven't seen you like comment in a while either. He said, everyone in the chat, let's help Optimus get a box. Bro, I love that enthusiasm. Love that energy, man.
That would be awesome, man. I mean,
hey, man, we might, bye. Okay, one thing that we might can try to do, I know that we both broke, but, you know what I'm saying, but we can sit here and we can try to invest to do some Xbox what do they call them, contracts, some Xbox contracts, start passing them around, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, he's gonna sign the contract.
I mean, because Cali Rex has already turned into a PC nut. I may talk to him and try to see if I can get him converted over.
That's the thing. If you guys find an Xbox, I will pay full price for it.
Oh man,
man.
we might need to make some contracts.
Real quick, I gotta say this one. Another super chat. RG Viper X hitting up the super chat. Thank you, brother.
But I want it brand new, motherfuckers.
God damn it. OMFG. Dark Optimus is tired of PlayStation. Hell has frozen over. The apocalypse is here. Run for the hills. Viper, I hope you appreciate all the energy I put into that, man. You made it easy, though.
That's the thing. PlayStation tired me out in one fucking generation, dude.
Not even a year. Like, not even a year.
Not even a generation in half a year.
Yo,
fucking tired out.
Oh,
like, come on, man.
My goodness. Dark dropped a bomb tonight, people. Yo, if you haven't done it yet, hit that thumbs up button. It is going down tonight. So Predator. Again, I'm not sure how much you're on YouTube or whatnot, but definitely a wave of YouTubers, a lot of like long-time PlayStation dudes are switching over. You see the news when it comes to PlayStation. Like, what's going on here, man? Is this the winds of change coming in? We know like things don't stay the same forever, but is this the beginning of something bigger here? Is Xbox grabbing that mind share, bro?
I want to say, yeah, I think they are grabbing the mind share. Like, if you look at, just go back to what Dark just said, his whole fucking rant he's making just now, and those are all the reasons why. Like, like if you bought a PlayStation 5 at launch, you've had to wait to use your internal SSD. You got a couple of games. And not saying those games are terrible, but and you look at the competitor and they're getting, they've got the Game Pass thing going. They got games literally dropping between
Yo, Pred, when
Demon,
you get a
what
chance, read Sir X-Man super chat because it's hilarious.
Oh shit!
Dark makes me wonder if the election was a fraud.
Wow.
Yo, shout out to you, Sir X-Man. That's some crazy shit.
Which
right?
election, though?
All of them.
All of them.
All of
If you think about it, like, I'm trying to get my cat out of the fucking room.
Fuck out.
If you think about it, what was that from the launch of? I think it was Demon Door. I didn't play it. I know
Death Store?
Death Door. From that game on up until like fucking January, like it's just gonna be Xbox Game Pass, Xbox Game Pass, Xbox Game Pass, and then even the games that are coming out of PlayStation are owned by Microsoft. So like, if you think about it, so like, and God forbid if they get exclusivity, if Microsoft gets exclusivity, not exclusivity, but marketing rights for Elden Ring, it comes out I think in January. Like that's just like a whole like 6 months of nothing but positive Xbox news, right? You add in all the fumbles that Sony's had over the past, I want to say, 6 months. The change in directions they've made, you know, some of just even the stuff they said in social media, like it all spreads negative shit. You know, like you have to compare that to what Microsoft is doing right now, and it's just two different spectrums. Like they're on different ends of, you know, the spectrum of what they're doing, what they're planning on doing going towards the future. Not saying Sony's not going to get games. They got PSVR 2 coming out. Like it just seems like Sony is playing catch up right now, and this is where Microsoft's position was last gen, where they're trying to react. And I think like Dark was saying, I think at some point Microsoft has said, you know what, fuck it, let's just keep our head above water for now, and we'll fuck these motherfuckers up next gen. You know, like we've already lost this shit. Like the cat's out the bag. We've given it up.
Yeah,
like
let's set something up that the industry has never seen before in console gaming, because that's what Game Pass is and what they're doing with first party right there.
And Sony has no answer for it. You know, like I mean, they have options they could do. They're just refusing to do it right now. Like they could put PS Now and their service into one bundle and, you know, offer things day and date like Microsoft is doing. They're trying to fight it, and I think the reason why they're fighting it, this is just me, I think the reason why they're fighting it is because they can't produce the volume of games that Microsoft is putting into Game Pass in one swoop. You know what I'm saying? Like they can't put out exclusives like that. They can't put with all the companies Microsoft has purchased. You know, they're going to drop all these games in Game Pass. Sony can't do that because their games take time. You know, so you're looking at like over the next 3 or 4 years, they're going to have God of War, Horizon, Gran Turismo, some other stuff that's coming, I'm sure, down the pipe. Another Spider-Man, another Last of Us. Maybe like the next 5 years. Like it's going to take time to get those out. And so to counterbalance what Microsoft is doing with all the studios they have, they're going to have to purchase more studios. So what they're going to end up doing is, I think initially they're going to start putting games on PC in the beginning until they can ramp up something like quicker. Like they don't have what Microsoft has. Microsoft is basically poised to put out a AAA game every quarter, if you think about it, with the way they set themselves up. And then mix it in with smaller AA games, maybe some passion projects, and then maybe even like an Outriders type stuff that it's small but it's popular and it gets a lot of steam in the beginning. Like that's what their plan was. Like AAA game, AA game, maybe a exclusive deal with one other company, and etc. So that will fill in each quarter. And Sony can't handle that volume. They just can't do it. And so if you're a gamer and you're seeing that, oh shit, we're playing, this baffles me. We're playing Major League The Show,
MLB,
on Game Pass, and
on Game
they're
Pass.
spending $70 on it. we're buying we're getting Halo, we're getting Forza, and over the holiday break that we're getting coming up here pretty soon, like Sony's got Deathloop, and I don't even know when is Ghost of Tsushima's DLC coming out.
This month,
the 20th.
The 20th.
The
Yeah,
20th.
the 20th. 5
This
days
month?
before my birthday. Yeah.
This
This
month?
month.
Yep,
This month.
Yeah,
Yep.
and that's not gonna hold people over till holidays. I beat
No.
that game in a week, if
Yeah,
that.
I beat it in
so
2 weeks. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Pred, you are a special type of gamer. Like, you will no life one game until it's done.
No, not let me back up. Not that I just beat it. I platinumed that game in a week, and so this is just gonna be what, a 30-hour maybe for me.
Well,
For
it's a new
Pred,
island,
it's gonna
man.
be like,
It's a new island.
for Pred, it's like 15 hours of life for me. But like, I'll have that shit knocked out in a couple of days, and then you're gonna be like, okay, now what am I gonna do? We're gonna wait on Deathloop. We're gonna play. So Sony's play this holiday is, third party shit, right?
Call of Duty.
Call of Duty, which we've not even seen anything about. And with everything going on at Activision, some people may even buy that shit this year and just hold out for a little while. Battlefield, which is going to look and play better on Xbox. It's just, if you're a PlayStation nut, and you're kind of like on the fence, at some point you're going to be like, maybe I need to kind of, you're going to be like, maybe I need to kind of switch over and get some of that Xbox life if I can find that.
Yo, Pred, you know what's funny about this as well? Not only are they switching over, but I saw a lot of them getting a Series S as well. Like, and that's the
and that's what they're getting a Series S to hold them over. and get a Series S because you can find them. They're easy to find. Get a Series S to hold you over for a while, and then like whenever the X's become more popular or more available, I should say, you can just trade that S in and offset the cost of it. I mean, but I would just say like the next several months for Xbox is going to be crazy. And if you think the numbers you think the numbers they gave, and keep in mind, they're not even the market leader right now, right? They don't even have mind share yet. Wait till Halo drops.
Oh my!
Wait till Forza drops this holiday,
dude. And people like the Halo Infinite multiplayer. Like, I've seen a lot more unity around the multiplayer than I've seen in a long time, bro.
You Game Pass subs are like spiking right now. You wait till fucking November. That's just gonna be fucking crazy.
Okay, Mega.
And when we were talking earlier about, hold on, Dark, you already went. We were talking earlier. I was like, you seeing like these numbers change from Sony to Xbox. Those people that you see moving over is why Xbox's numbers have gone up. Because those people have gotten off the PlayStation brand. They can't find a fucking console. They're buying S's. They're getting into Game Pass. They're waiting on Halo to come out, and all the are just going to just get into the ecosystem with Xbox, and they're probably going to stay there for a while until Sony either drops another blockbuster game, which will be what? Somebody tell me what the next game is coming out.
Horizon?
Horizon.
When is that coming out?
Probably like February or March.
You don't know. You guess.
You don't know.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Not made official announcements, so you're correct.
I mean, there's a like they could delay that shit again. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't know. So Sony and Dark, you kind of said this. You got your console because you thought these games were coming out, but again, this is the Sony fanboys not listening to what the fuck they see and what the trends are. Sony has delayed every single first-party game in the last fucking 2 generations. Every single one.
At least 95% of them, I would say.
None of them come out on time. None of them. Every single one has been delayed. 3 months, 4 months, a year.
I do believe you are correct. I'm just
right. What's
going
called
back to the last fucking, I can't even think how far
Last
back.
Guardian.
No, it goes
Guardian
it goes further back. It goes even further back. What's called was the last PlayStation exclusive I can remember that came on time, and that was the Demon Souls type game.
Yeah,
Bloodborne.
Bloodborne was the last one, because remember what Street Fighter came after that, and that got delayed. And then Uncharted got delayed like 3 or 4 times after that.
Yes, it did. People forget about that.
So yeah. No, I remember because that's when I was going to get the PlayStation was the PlayStation 4 was right when Street Fighter was coming, and then I said,
God of War got delayed.
Yep, God of War got delayed. Horizon Zero Dawn got delayed.
I can't think of any exclusive that has come out on time. And then on top of that, they've not supported PSVR either.
Nope.
Well,
so and then
they went back and forth on that one.
Fuck them. Like they haven't supported. They put out one game in the past 2 years, maybe. I mean, they're delaying their games. They're not supporting the peripheral that they have basically said you need. You got to have this shit. You got to have this console to work this. Now I know they got PSVR 2 coming out, but we don't know when that's coming out either. And so what's been happening is to keep their mind share, Sony has been basically dropping little nuggets. Here's the release date for PSVR. Here's our controllers. Here's this. They've been doing that this whole generation. Here's a controller for the new PlayStation. Here's what what it looks like. Here's us breaking it down. Here's us giving you an SSD. Oh, we're gonna talk a little bit about PSVR 2. We're not going to E3, but we're gonna give you this little nugget of a game that ain't coming out for 2 years. They're just keeping y'all in the mix, but they're not giving you anything definitive. And they're using that same tactics they've been doing for the past 2 generations to keep you guys on that fucking fishing line. And these people, some of these consumers out there are smarter than that. They're like, okay, well, look, I'm tired of this shit. I'm done dealing with you motherfuckers. I'm done. Where are my games? I spent $500 on the console. I'm giving these Xbox guys shit, for the beginning of the generation. But guess what's coming? Starfield, Forza. I'm seeing what the fuck they got coming down the pipe. Halo, Game Pass. I'm seeing what they got, and I got a bunch of delays and Deathloop. And so, I that's why you see these people kind of slow.
But you can blow in your controller though, so there's always that.
Well, what games? Easy. Even if that was your thing, you like blowing controllers. What game is using that besides Astrobot?
Which I am proud of somebody on social media. This girl who just got a PS5. She was talking about it, and then she played Astrobot, and she was like, "That is a cute little tech demo." I'm like, I am very proud of you for saying that because some people believe that is an official game.
Yeah, it's No, you got even you think about Game Pass, we're getting Hades, I think this week, right? Or today, actually. Mm-hmm. I mean, even the games that we're not is Sony getting that game?
Probably down the road, maybe.
Anybody?
PlayStation.
That was even the games that are we don't play old games, but that was a blockbuster game that was not in consoles at the time, and Xbox is getting it. So you see these people that that want to play games. They're not just the fanboys that with the tinfoil hats on. At some point, they're gonna realize these games are coming to Xbox and not PlayStation. And I'm looking at the lineup coming up between now and let's say March next year. And Xbox has it. I can find the Series S. I'm gonna buy that motherfucker, and that's why Xbox went NPD. They have consoles available for people to buy, and they got games coming out.
That is true. That is another reason why the Series S was such a great idea, because when it comes down to it, you see what's happened here with the scarcity of the top shelf premium consoles, but there is a next gen console that has the next gen features in it for $300 that is available out there, and I see people picking it out, picking it up, buying it. I have one myself. Shout out to RG Viper. This thing is a little beast, by the way, when it comes down to it. I definitely have no complaints about the Series S. Crispy.
I'm done. You can move on.
Yeah, Crispy. I kind of figured, man. I heard the tone in your voice. I kind of figured, but you hear what we're talking about, man. These YouTubers making these videos, switching after 26 years, after 20 years. You see the news coming out on Sony's side, and it's not great, man. You see the delays, and you see all the hype that's coming around, around Xbox with Game Pass and and Halo Infinite and Forza and like, yo, do you sense a change in the air, man? Because I know people are trying to point out, you know, Sony has sold 35% more consoles so far than Xbox, but it seems that when it comes to mindshare, there might be a swing going on here, man. What do you think?
How many of those consoles are going back to the manufacturer or the third-party
I don't know
seller?
that, but real quick, my bad. Let me hit these super chats before you really get in on this. Yo, shout out to Verge Brizzle hitting up that super chat one more time. He says he loves Optimus, honestly. And if there's a pot for the Series X for Optimus, he will donate. Yo, shout out to Dragonheart Yobi one more time hitting up that super chat. He says, till this day, people don't want to give Xbox its props. Contrary to belief, they are here to stay. Also, this generation, under the reign of Phil Spencer and his team, it is safe to say they are in a space to dominate. Brother, I will say that, you know, with the team that's there right now that are heading things, you see the swing, you see the positive when it comes to Game Pass. They are out here to really solidify Xbox's name, and they are doing a great job. Yo, shout out to RG Viper X hitting up that super chat, brother. Thank you so much. He says, has anyone noticed that there aren't any ponies in the chat? It's quiet tonight. Yo, brother, I will agree with you. It is. Is there a Sony podcast going on right now as well, or
they heard me being traded?
they're like, that's it, man. We're losing Dark. We're out of here.
We're done.
But yo, dude, again, yo, share this out there. Let people know that we are getting into it. Dude, I am loving the topics and the opinions from the panel. I hope you guys are as well. And we are going back to hashtag Crispy Truth, Crispy Bomb. Go ahead, brother.
Are you done?
No.
Are you done interrupting me?
Well, done interrupting you? No. No.
I'm just saying, because, you know, anybody that didn't see this coming is just ignoring the facts. Number one, Microsoft was actually prepared for this generation. Number two, you have a CEO of the Xbox division. That's basically what he is. He talks to Satya. That's all he's got to do now. So everybody else can ignore the fact that, you know, they're losing millions upon billions of dollars all the time. And they're doing that because they know the end game. The end game is once these exclusives come out and these games start coming out, people are going to recognize, and you pay $15 a month for a subscription, and you're going to go from 23 million, that's the last we heard, it was a couple months ago, to be honest. Where are we going to be at by the end of the year? I'm going to say 50 at least.
I'll say at least. I'll say 30, between 30 and 35.
I'm going to say 50, dude. I'm going to say 50. And the only reason why I'm going to say that is because the reaction from true Halo fans for the flight, number one. Number two, you got Forza Horizon 5. And trust me, the way that game showed at the showcase, people recognize.
That E3 was powerful, by the way. Like, you look back at it now, that's where a lot of hype really started taking off.
So folding right into what I'm saying, I saw a lot of people that they may not have posted it until recently, but they also heard, you know, from somewhat reliable sources that Forbidden West was being delayed again. I don't believe they've announced it officially, but
no, they haven't.
You know, these reliable sources seem to be pretty accurate, even though we don't like some of them, but that's fine. I don't like at least one of them, but he seems to be reliable, so I'll give him that. You know, the fact is that they see that stuff. They see that Starfield is exclusive to Xbox. So if you're a console gamer, you're not a PC gamer, people could go and talk, I'll get a freaking greatest PC, like better than Preds, which is impossible. That's the way I feel about it at this point. But you know, you go and say stupid shit like that, but at the end of the day, you're an actual console gamer. Eventually, you're going to be like, ugh, this is rough. You know what I mean? And even though it was a little snidbit, like some of what I saw in that Starfield trailer seemed to be actual gameplay. Especially when she went up the stairs and like the coffee. Dude, I've seen that just in horrible graphics on Fallout 4 and stuff like that, you know, during cutscenes. So I see that and I say this game's going to look way better and it's going to be a totally different experience than what I'm used to. It's not like mythology. It's not, you know, nuclear war. It's just straight out you're in space. And that's pretty cool. If they do it right, which I think they will, that's what I'm talking about. And then Redfall, you know, some people were like, I'm not into that. Others were like, well, what is this?
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So, you know, and it says, you know, like Phil said at the beginning, you could play it single player, you could play it multiplayer. You could do what you want. And a lot of people are ignoring this, but, you know, Xbox just continues to push the multiplayer despite what, you know, haters say. Like me, I enjoy the multiplayer. I want to play with other people. I want to conversate. I want to bullshit. I want to talk shit to each other, whatever it may be. Like how much fun we're having with Back 4 Blood beta, dude. Like that's what I want in a game. And I'm not saying that like a story should be completely null and void, but what I'm saying is like a story can kind of envelop in with your community, with the people you play with, you know, your friends, whatever. You know what I mean? Like you got to look at games differently than just, I'm just going to sit here and listen to the great sounds. I'm not saying they're bad, the great visuals, and that's all I want. Like a lot of people nowadays want to experience, especially in a pandemic we've had, you know, experience other people. And I think Xbox just continues to push that regardless of what others say about it, which is just crazy at this point because you really can't ignore the fact that they've continued on the same line. Now you got like great like AA games that are coming out that people are trashing for no reason and they're really not even playing it. And it's just like, dude, this is not even like, you know, like I get it. People went and bombed, you know, certain games, you know, Last of Us 2. Some people bombed it, but I also read a lot of comments. I was like, well, you just don't like the story. And I'm not a story gamer. I'm a gameplay gamer. That's the way I look at it. I'm more about the gameplay. And you know, for Xbox to do what they've been doing and getting certain games in there, the gameplay that I've been getting is so like far out there, like at times, like I've never played it, but at the same time I get engaged to it. I think that's a huge thing going down the line.
Nice, brother. And I, dude, I love, man. You proved all your points. You said what you had to say, and you just wound it right off so beautifully. I there's nothing I can say about that. K Mega, did you get to chime in on this, or because I remember there was some back and forth. I kind of figured you didn't get like the spotlight on this. So you already heard the topic. I'm not going to repeat it again. But what do you think? What do you think is going on here, man? And when the change blowing?
Huh? I think you forgot the topic.
No. It started with the YouTubers. Kind of like switching over to Xbox, which I have been thoroughly entertained listening to people actually being honest on what's going on, what they've been playing, their experiences, and why they are trying the other platform now. I've been really entertained by these videos, man, and they are coming left and right now, man. Like it has been kind of crazy here, and then you put together all the news that Sony has been getting, which hasn't necessarily been positive, and you see the hype building up over on Xbox's side. Like, when the change going on here, bro?
Man, it is it's about to get real ugly because it started in April, right when they had Outriders, and then when MLB The Show came out. That's when the onslaught began. And then even when you looked at like the month after that came a little light or whatever, there was still some indies that was involved, and some other games that came in, that was some older games that came in the month after that like caught people off guard. And then on top of that, there was games that people could invest in See, this is the best thing about Game Pass that a lot of people don't want to really talk about, is that with the Xbox reward system and with Game Pass, you can kind of budget out what kind of games you actually want to get that you have to pay for. You can't get that at Sony. Can't get that at Nintendo. But Nintendo's games, their games are so far in between, they're so gapped out that people can still budget because they know that Nintendo's going to deliver on their games, and most of the time they're on time. For especially like for Mario's and stuff like that. Like now for Metroid, it's whatever. But for the most part, they're pretty much on time. You kind of know when these games are going to be coming out, so they can budget because they're so gapped out. With Xbox now, the one thing that I've always said was that what Xbox needed to do was to get back to the fundamentals of what made Xbox so popular in the 360 era. And that was to bring in not only their big budget titles, but those tweeners. Those games were so important for the 360 generation. That was another factor that also put Sony in a bad situation, because Sony was fumbling and trying to overcharge and brag and be braggadocious about their stance in the gaming community. They're doing the same thing, but now on top of it, they're now stuck because of things that's happening within the pandemic. They're being greedy by trying to raise the prices because they feel that their games because they got their ass kissed so long about their IPs, is that they feel like, well, these are premium products, we can charge what we want to. It's kind of like their televisions, if you think about it. Sony kind of is doing their games like they do their televisions. They're good quality products, but then there's other competition out there that can give you something better, but they can definitely give it to you at a lower price, where other people are going to turn their heads and be like, you know what, Sony, you're cool, but I'm going with Samsung, or I'm going with
they have
OLED.
quality that's similar. Right. Sony might be better, but their price is what makes it more enticing.
Right. Yeah, they're so braggadocious about what they do. And that's where I think the problem lies. While Xbox was, like everybody's been saying, and I agree 100%. Xbox already waved the white flag about 2017, 2018. I think when Phil first came in, they knew that they gave their one big last hurrah with the Xbox One X. But I think that was more of the thing to say, look, we can't have some of these bigger games that's going to be coming out here, like Red Dead Redemption 2 and others, to come out and just be played on the Xbox One S. That's it. It's Digital Foundry and the rest, and these people that do all these like comparison videos, they will eat the PlayStation Pro, will eat the Xbox One S alive, and it'll even be worse. So the Xbox One X was kind of like come on, man, we got to try to recoup some of this money, but on top of that, we need to do something to show that we're serious about we're still in the game. But when it comes to our games, we're going to have to plan for the next generation, because this generation is already over. And so that's where they made the decision of doing what they're doing now. I told a lot of Xbox gamers at the time, oh man, I just want to see, when are we going to see this? When are we going to do it? Well, be patient. It's going to come. And I've said this on this show. When it comes, then y'all going to be wondering, wow, where's the slowdown? Because once they get it rolling, it's now we're at that point right now. They're going to get shit really, really cooking. And this is just the first year. We know for sure that Sony's going to be bringing God of War, and they're going to be bringing out Solarcide, another game that looks fantastic. I can't wait. But that got delayed. That was supposed to come out this year. That comes out next year sometime. Then of course,
I gotta stop you, K-Mega. I gotta stop you real quick, because now, if you're looking at all the delays and what's coming out next year, and then what was slotted to come out next year, again,
someone's going to get pushed back.
Yeah, it's looking like the PS4, like the beginning of the PS4 era again, where they keep lumping them up and only trickling a couple out, and the other ones being delayed until the next year, until they get this huge bunch in kind of like the middle of the generation, and then start releasing them that way. And then you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, no. I know, but that's the thing. That's the crazy thing about it, because those tweener games that I was saying that for Xbox, those AA to those indie games, those games are very important. I mean, just look at what we talk like. I can't stop playing the Ascent. The only thing that stopped me from playing the Ascent was the Halo beta, the Technimo or whatever. That was it. Other than that, I'm right back on the Ascent until I beat it. I've fallen in love with this game. Like, no, this is ridiculous how dope this game is. And then you're gonna have Psychonauts. I've never played any Psychonauts games, but I'm intrigued because everybody that's because the one thing about it, when people talk about games from 10, 15, 20 years ago, and I may have not had the opportunity to talk about it, I'm like, oh, that game stuck with those people for some odd reason. So I need to, to at least give this game a shot.
I will let you know when it comes to Psychonauts, it's because like with these people going into people's heads, anything can happen. Like the backdrop, the look, the gameplay, like it's gonna switch up. It's gonna get crazy. You saw with like all the eyeballs in one scene.
Yeah.
Then the dentist bananas thing with the other one, like it's gonna be way over the top, bro. Just to let you know.
Right. Well, I'm looking forward to it, but again, Game Pass gives that option. But this is another thing too to look forward to, because we've already talked about Halo and Forza that's going to be out. Then Back 4 Blood's going to be available, and then there's going to be other games that's going to be coming out this year where people can make that budget. But just think about what's going to be coming out for next year. And this is in the first 2 quarters of next year. Final Fantasy VII Remake is going to drop, and I still think that that's going to be a game that's going to drop on Game Pass. I've said this. I was wrong about my prediction about how can I not talk about the game? I was like, so before the Ascent, that was the only game that I thought there was going to be Scarlet Nexus. And I was like, yeah, this has got to be my game of the year. Scarlet Nexus is still going to drop on Game Pass at some point. And so then you're going to have the Scorn coming out. You're going to have Crossfire X coming out. You're going to have the Gunk coming out. You're going to have Bright Memory Infinite coming out. You know what I'm saying? Then on top of that, when you got Stalker 2, you're going to have...
God damn it, K-Mega.
Listen, bro.
You got me like all fucking jealous over here, man.
But Atomic Heart's going to be dropping next year.
I can't wait for that.
You know what I'm saying? Not on top of that, but then the other games that's going to be slated, that's going to be from the third party publishers, with so it's going to be crazy. It's going to be at a point where people are going to look at it like, slow down, Microsoft. But no, this is what the 360 was like. There was no slowing down. If you go and you look at so many how many games were on the 360, there's a lot of games a lot of people didn't get to play because they were so busy playing other games. And so when you tell other gamers about these particular games and those particular games, then people will go back and play those games and things like that. But this is the difference. Now, only thing they can do is they can just sit there and they can like, oh shit, I'm finna download this on Game Pass. It's good to stay there for at least 6 months, and then at least 90 days. And then if it gets to the point where somebody gets nervous and like, man, I played a little bit of it, was dope, but I'm already playing this game that I already invested to, then they'll go ahead and then they'll buy it. It is
at a discount as well.
At a discount as well. So the thing of it is that, I said this too, and I think other people on the panel said as well, Xbox don't have to win the console war aspect of it. They can win the mind share without having the most consoles sold because they'll have so many people invested into their service that it's not even funny. That's what makes this thing so deadly. And while Sony is over here going to have their games, and people are going to brag and show pictures and talk about, oh man, this game sold 10 million, 12 million. What about the other in-between games that's going to be available on Sony that those tweeners that Sony is going to have? Is Sony going to allow those games to get those PlayStation gamers to get that access to those tweener games, so people can brag about those games that like you used to talk about, like Flower and and all the rest of those little small indie type games, no, they're going to charge you for them. While Xbox is going to give, they'll charge you for it with a service, but it's a different type of convenience because you ain't paying anything extra except for that $10 or $15 a month. That's a whole big. That's where the change is. That's where it makes it even this generation even better than the 360 generation coming up, because Xbox everybody has way more options than they ever could have imagined. So for me, when people were trying to stand on a hill, I'm not going to get into Game Pass. Game Pass is it's illegal. It's not right. There's no reason to do it.
It's illegal.
It's not American. The fuck you talking about? America.
Actually, it's more American than anything.
Thank you. It's more. Thank you. It's more American as hell, bro. It is. This right here is like, why worry about? I care about the publisher, and I got to make sure it's right. While your ass wasn't giving two shits about the publisher when you was trading your games in at GameStop. Stop it. Because there's people to this day that knows that get in here and they do videos and they talk about this shit. But I guarantee you, if they only buy hard copies, they don't keep those games all. They don't keep all the games like that. There's some people that will keep their hard copies, but most people just take their hard copies and go trade them in for something else. So if you're doing that still today, you don't give a shit about the developer. Let Microsoft let the developer or the publisher or whatever handle with the company with the company that's going to be giving this service away. As long as we're paying the money in investing into it, then the publisher should be fine. There's plenty of them, that developers that said, hey, this has helped us out tremendously. I'm pretty sure that there's somebody that could give a sob story and say, it didn't happen this way, this game didn't do this game didn't do that. There's always a sob story in any and everything. But the real reality is that you cannot pass up this type of fantastic deal over some kind of crazy old conversation about something from way back in the days about the tradition of old gaming. That shit is dead, son.
I want an apology, K-Mega. I want an apology. You called me out for not buying Gears 5 back when Game Pass came out.
Ooh.
You called me out, bro.
Right.
And I said no. I'm not going to pay for a game twice. And what did you say? You kind of said the same shit. You just kind of nulled. So,
well, no.
You have flipped the script.
This is no. This is not a flip script.
He said bend that knee, sir. Bend that knee is what he said.
No. This is why I got in your ass crispy that night. Is because Gears is your number one game. That's like me. Let's say Tekken has been in Game Pass, but that's like me saying as a Tekken fan or a Halo fan. I got the service. I'm going to do it when that's fine. But when I constantly sit here and say, I get Gears everything, I get Gears this, I get Gears. Well, you would think that you could at least save that money to go ahead and buy Gears. If I talk about Tekken, and even though, and I sit my ass and wait for it to get into what
Gears came out,
if
Gears came out for the PlayStation and I was a PlayStation only owner, even though maybe Gears was third party for the whole time, I would completely agree with you. The fact is that it's on Game Pass and they're giving it to me, the full on everything I wanted. Fine. Anything I pay for is exactly what I would pay for if I bought the game. That's where I say no. Like, there's no reason if I'm already paying $15 a month.
That's fine, but there was a reason for me to snap at you about something about it. And I forgot what it was about, but I'm like, listen, if you're a Gears fan like that, then that's fine. I'm not going to knock anybody who doesn't get Halo, but I guarantee that I'm going to sit here and going to get Halo. I'm going to buy Halo. I'm gonna support, and like with Gears, I bought Gears. That is me. I'm not tripping about it. I'm not tripping. If you're gonna sit here and you're gonna do that, but I'm not giving you no damn apology for you sitting there popping off talking about Gears. Well, then pay fucking Gears then. Pay it.
Why do I need to? Dude, they're all owned by Microsoft now, bro. What does it matter, bro? What does it matter? I'm paying Microsoft, right? Think about it.
You're not getting no apology from it.
Yeah. I know. It's all right. Bro. It's all right.
I'm sorry. I'm a hard ass, but I'm just saying.
I see you. It's okay.
I see you.
That's fine. I'm just saying though. People stood on the hill, was willing to die on the hill, and now I'm seeing people change up for Game Pass. That's the whole point of what I'm saying. So for Crispy, listen. You can do.
Well, guess what? I died on that fucking hill, baby. Woo!
Well, yo, Crispy, check it out. Like he's talking about the fans of the fans and purchasing the games and stuff. Crispy, do you know how I'm playing Halo Infinite when it comes out? Do you think I'm buying the game?
Hell no.
Hell no, I ain't. Dude, Game Pass all the way, brother.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So I mean, the whole
it's always
going to
be in there too. So.
Yeah, and if I get an Xbox before then, you know where I'm playing it. Fucking Game Pass.
and there's nothing wrong with that. But I mean, there was a reason for me to pop off on Crispy about the shit. I forgot what it was.
Yeah.
We need to go back into it.
Yeah, well, we're not going to go back into it.
But you can't come back 3, 4, 5 months later and sit here and say, I need an apology.
3, 4. Dude, this was a year and a half before, bro. Year and a half.
Crispy saves receipts, bro. Crispy saves receipts.
You were saving that for that long?
Dude. My brain is insane when it comes to memory. Trust me.
Listen to this, man.
Yo, shout out to Sir X-Man. Shout out to Sir X-Man real quick. Hitting up that super chat one more time. Thank you, brother. God. And I think this one was for Crispy. He says, Game Pass lets you have more beer money. True fact.
Yeah. Beer money. But that's what I'm saying. Too many games. Overall, that's just what it's all about, man. Like, look, Sony is in a very weird situation because their big titles are going to sell, but other games when they keep on trying to sell for $70, I mean, and then this is another thing. My last point: they're going to sell these games for $70. Then they want you to pay for PSN. Then they want you to pay for PS Now. I mean, at some point, the customer is going to say, you know what? Then they want you to pay for another PlayStation VR. Then they're going to want you to pay for some other peripheral. Then they're going to want you to. At some point, the gamers are going to be like, I got you, bro. It's cool. I enjoy your shit. I'll rock with you. But damn, you can't even release the $400 version of your console. That's non-existent. Damn near, and you want me to pay $500, pay $10 extra dollars, then you want me to pay that? It's going to be too much. It's going to be too overwhelming to a lot of people when you look at the competition and they're offering so much less, so much more for less. And even if those people don't jump to Xbox, then PC is going to add another person to the flock, another group to the flock.
Yeah, definitely. And that's another thing where, the Xbox division, when they were thinking about how they were going to move forward, Game Pass, and then, it started with games going to PC as well, adding that other layer like early on and getting people kind of like accustomed to it. And then with getting people accustomed to it, you have people who are on the other side of the fence and like, well, what about us? You know what I'm saying? Like, well, and before you know it, you got your neighbors peeking over the hedges, looking in your yard because you got the new shiny over here, man, and that seems to be what's going on right now. Regardless, and I want to say this, real quick because our brother Albert was in the chat, and he started talking about console sales. Again, I'm talking about. This is the beginning of change this generation. So, Sony came out the gate in terms of selling consoles. Came out the gate and sold 35% more so far when it comes down to it. And then at the end of the day, it's not just about like the consoles that are out there in the wild either. There are so many other elements to grabbing mind share and being that company kind of like on the top of the heap, and with what Xbox is doing, they've kind of negated console numbers by doing the Game Pass subscription, by having their games on PC with Game Pass on PC as well, and xCloud. So
Don't mind him. He's been drinking too much turd gamer juice. It's okay.
Turd gamer juice. Ew, that just sounds so nasty, bro. We're gonna go the direct opposite of nasty because I gotta get anybody who has played the Halo Infinite flight, the tech demo, whatever you want to call it. I want to hear kind of like your final impressions on that. Now, I did hear that they will have another flight before the game comes out.
Hey,
so, yo,
I gotta take off, man.
All right, brother.
Alrighty.
You want to do
Yeah,
your outro?
My outro.
You want to do
Yeah,
that?
you guys can find me on Twitter at Darkonimus. You can also find me on Xbox and PlayStation at the same name. And as always, you can find me on the next podcast here. And hopefully I can get into Series X soon. Really going to be advocate finding. Oh.
Nice. And guys, in the description below, there is Dark Optimus's Twitter right there.
Yeah.
And you can go hit him up and you can
So
console him for getting tired of PlayStation, having PlayStation kind of really get on his nerves, man. He is the neighbor looking across the hedge right now in the other yard. Let's just be real about it. But Dark, it's always a blast, man.
Yep.
Thank you for coming on again.
Still a piece of garbage.
Oh, hi. Thanks for checking in. I'm still a piece of garbage.
Good night, guys.
Later, bro.
All right, good night.
Later.
But all right. So, just real quick, because I gotta wind this down soon, because I gotta go to bed. I gotta work tomorrow and stuff. But let's see. I know K Mega played. Predator, you played as well. Crispy, did you get in?
No.
Okay, of course you didn't, because you're a Dirty Gears fan, and for some rhyme or reason, 343 thought I was too. Let's start. let's start with K Mega first. K Mega, I want to get your thoughts and opinions on the flight, and if you want to chime in, because I know within the flight, people kind of data mined, the information that was given, and I believe some of the story leaked, and then with that leak, like, PlayStation fanboys went nuts, man, and they started going back to The Last of Us 2, talking about how that got leaked. Now, one thing I want to say, these are two totally different circumstances. The Last of Us 2, when the information came out, when it got leaked, first off, it supposedly got leaked by somebody who was close to a developer that was having issues with the studio. And then secondly, it got spread around the internet because of the dramatic change in direction that the story was going in. And they wanted to put it out there so people didn't blindly buy this game and then get completely disappointed by it. That is way different than what was going on here with the Halo campaign leak, because there are some salty ass people, PlayStation dudes, that were sending it in DMs to Xbox guys, trying to get them to read it and basically destroy the campaign before it even started for them. So I want to hear your impressions, and then what do you think about that leak, bro?
Well, it's garbage for the leak, and I had like 3 anonymous tweets sending me the leaks of Halo here this week. So I thought it was pretty crazy. And because we talked about this on the Weapon Wheel Sunday night, and sure enough, I got the last one yesterday, where they were just sending me just leaks and information. And some of it I read, because I was like, you know what, I'm not even tripping about it. I read some of it, and really, okay, but to me, it was the PlayStation community that went crazy and gave out those leaks. It wasn't Xbox gamers. Now, once some Xbox stands got out there and went crazy and wanted to make a laugh or something about it, then there was some of them that went out there and sent it to other people. But for the most part, it was PlayStation gamers against PlayStation gamers because of the turmoil within the game. And how I look at it is, what is something that we were saying. And listen, PlayStation stands out there they just want chaos and anger and divisiveness amongst the Xbox community at all times. They don't want to hear any type of kumbaya, any type of goodness, any type of hype or anything when it was regarding with Xbox or any of their games. And the problem that happened was that Halo Infinite brought in a lot, and I mean a lot of hype. You know, and you know how I feel about Halo 5, about Halo 5, you mean by, you know, and Don and One Bad Mother and all the rest of us. We love that game. We enjoyed the hell out of that game. And you know, I think it's unfair that there's so many people that try to dog walk it when they haven't really actually played it like we have. But it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? The Xbox marketing was really the main culprit behind Halo 5 getting all the scrutiny that it did. Because just like I said, if Halo 5 was called was called Guardians or Halo Guardians and took the 5 out of it, then it probably would have been perceived a lot better. Even with the story not being as detailed as it needed to be. But just because you put that 5 there, people was expecting Chief all the time, whatever, which is something that I did read, and I'm only going to just go this far with it. They're going to expand this universe finally, and I'm very, very happy about that.
Yeah, I accidentally read a couple things too.
Yeah. I read a lot of it, but I was only looking for two things. Was Locke dead? It was Locke dead. It was
too tempting for you, man. You had to see.
It was too tempting. I had to see. And I didn't see it. But you know what I'm saying. But they did say that one of them things was that they was calling Hyperion. Well, there was a group of them that was called the Spartan Killers.
Don't get into it. Don't get into
it. Yeah. But other than that, you know what I'm saying. I didn't see anything about my boy Locke. But hold on, you know what I'm saying. You know, praying for that. But But the thing of it is that the universe is going to be expanded, which I'm absolutely ecstatic about. But I think either way, for anybody who shared any of that information out about The Last of Us 2 was sick and ridiculous and childish, and anybody that's doing that towards Xbox gamers is the same way. You don't take away people's enjoyment or just that they want to just be surprised.
Dude, somebody tried to justify sharing the information out by saying that nobody cares about the Halo campaign.
That's the ignorance that goes on because people try to make these stupid ass narratives. That, I mean, how is it that nobody cares about $1 billion damn franchise? I mean, it's beyond $1 billion.
What's the biggest complaint about Halo 5?
The story,
the campaign.
The campaign, right? That was the biggest problem about Halo 5 was the story. So, and what was the crazy thing about Halo 5? That's the one thing I hate when people say, "Well, you know, Halo is back." Halo ain't never went anywhere. Halo 5 generated more money in its first week than any other Halo in history, even Halo 2. So you just go look that shit up. So the thing of it is this: it may not have outsold Halo 2, but it still in that first week generated way more money. It broke records. So this is the thing: Halo has never went anywhere. Halo is always going to be Halo. That's just it. And if there's any game that PlayStation fans are scared of, it's Halo, because there's nothing PlayStation has is as great as God of War is, as great as Horizon Zero Dawn is, as great as Uncharted is. They still do not hold a candle to Halo. It just doesn't. It brings in the perfect blend of story and multiplayer. Mm-hmm. There's very few games that can do it. And listen, and that's just it. So when people went crazy and started loving Halo again after the beta test, and that's what's really crazy about it, because it's just a damn beta. It's an older build.
Dude, what was it, like 2-3 maps?
It was 3 maps. Three maps, and you're fighting bots for the majority, for the whole damn time. I played until 6. Me and One Bad Mother played until 6 o'clock in the morning, Friday and Saturday. I was so wore out Sunday, I still played it until 3 o'clock in the morning. Then got up and was hoping that it was still on, and it was. And I played it until they shut it off at like 12, 1 o'clock my time. That's how much I enjoyed it. The only negative that I could give it was the fact that when I started playing the Slayer, and that's only because I think that the people who we were playing against, they were professional, because there was some of them that their mics were on and I could hear them through my television, where they were coordinating so well. I'm like, there is no way in hell, and it could have been where it could have been, but the way that they coordinated, I was like, these had to be pros. They whooped our ass. Now we won the first match. The other 3, we got slaughtered. I think that last match I went like 10-20. It was a beating. But we still won the first match. But other than that, the Slayer thing, the when you playing against the bots and shit like that, there could be, they're really fun to play with and things like that. But it was a big, huge difference between you playing Slayer and playing against those bots, and that's a big adjustment. So I want to see how that all fits in together when you have the bots and you got humans out there, because if the humans are going to die a little bit quicker than the bots are, then that's going to be an imbalance, and that's the only complaint, the main complaint that I had. So, but like I said, we only played 4 matches compared to playing I can't say hundreds of hours, but I know I played a good damn near 40 hours of that beta test. So but the one thing I loved about it the most probably was the fact that it was a homage of all the other Halos put together. Pretty much like it took some things from 3. It had the speed and the run and the clamber and all of that of 5. But they also had like the weapons felt like from 2. They had a lot of old sounds like from Halo 1, like when your suit charged up and it does that that it does that. And then like when you drop off like your shields and things like that, that felt like Halo 3 or maybe some Reach. And then like
a lot of people tell me it feels like Reach on steroids, man.
No, it doesn't feel like Reach on steroids. It feels like a little bit of everything. It feels like 5 for sure, with the movement, with the run, and with the clamber and the way that you can move. That definitely is like 5. Reach didn't move nothing like that. But with the weapon play, I think what people could try to make that seem like that's more comparable to Reach. I just felt like they just put a little bit of everything from every Halo, and that's what I've been saying for a long time. If they want to really make it work, you're going to have to put in a little bit of everything from every Halo to try to at least make even the people that don't like running and clambering, because you can also jog, and you can also just power walk, and that is fast enough as well. So I don't know, man. It was amazing, and what people can look forward to is a quality ass shooter, and yeah, maybe you can go ahead and complain and nitpick and talk about fruit physics, but
oh goodness,
that is what it is. So, but yeah,
so many that backfired on so many people, because they wanted to make that a complaint, and everybody made it a joke, man. It made it absolute joke, and not for anything, that is a joke. Yo, guys, check it out, the gameplay here. Yo, the arm from the monster is reaching into the door to try to get us. That is attention to detail right there, man. That was awesome. But yo, Pred, you have the spotlight now. The gameplay that you guys saw from the Halo Infinite flight was Predator's gameplay. So if you thought it was horrible, let him know on his Twitter in the description below. You just have to click on that. You can let him know. But Pred, I need your impressions on the flight, and then of course, what do you think about the leaks and how these Sony extremists are really, really trying to ruin it for everybody here, and trying to send them out to Xbox dudes and whatnot.
I won't be as long-winded as K-Mega was on that one.
Sorry, my bad.
No, you're a bigger Halo fan than I am. So I did enjoy my time with it. I didn't play as much as K-Mega did, but I did get a lot of stick time in with it. And I was, as a guy who's not always a fan of futuristic shooters like that, I had a lot of fun playing it, and I'm definitely looking forward to getting into it when it comes out. So I mean, like I think they despite what everybody thought about Craig and everything else, and just like the graphics and stuff like that, the game is going to be fucking fun. And I think, um, you know, everybody is talking shit, or even like just worried about the game. Don't be. That game's going to be nice if you didn't get to the beta or whatever. That game is going to be fine. Halo's a blockbuster game. It's going to sell like it normally sells, and then some. So I wouldn't even think twice about it. Not even, like being like one of the multiplayer games of the year, possibly game of the year. Just playing the multiplayer that I played, I'm excited about this game when it comes out. As far as the leaks and stuff like that, I mean, I think it's unfortunate that community, that it's like this. It'd be different if I was looking for it and I found information about it, or because I saw the stuff was on Reddit, and I read through some of it too, just like everybody else did. But like when you're purposely sending it to people just to spoil the story, you're in the wrong for that. Like, we know it's out there, we know we can find it. Like, let us do that on our own if we choose to. Don't put it out there for everybody else to see when they don't want to see it. That's fucked up. Like, the difference between this situation and Last of Us 2 is these people are actively trying to spoil it for us, whereas the information from The Last of Us 2 was brought to everybody from internal, internally from the own company. Like, that shit was put out there by their own people. There wasn't a data mine. There wasn't people weren't posting it on social media in my DMs and stuff like that. Like what's going on now, like just as hate. That stuff from Last of Us 2, you had to go look for it, and if you wanted to read it, you found it. I never got once any information about Last of Us 2 on my DMs from Twitter, but y'all think it's okay to do with Halo, and I think that's what's fucked up. Like, we know it's there, we know we can find it. Don't send it to us. I think that's fucked up. That you'll spoil that for somebody.
Just try to ruin the most anticipated game this year because it's not on your platform. Let's be real.
Yeah, because you're just being a hater of the game. And here's the crazy part: it ain't stopping none of us from buying the game. It ain't gonna stop none of us from playing it. Everybody who's a Halo fan, despite what was leaked, are still gonna play that game and play that story. Period. So leaking it is not going to do it, because again, we know we can find it if we want to. You send it to us, we still have the option to not read it. It's just fucked up to do that. So that's just the PlayStation community for you. That's how they are. They're assholes. I think it's fucked up they would do that, though. To be honest with you, I think that's just like that. There's a line that needs to be drawn in the sand, and that's one of them. Going after people for working with a specific console or making a game exclusive like they used to do, like that also is a line. And they consistently, and not saying there's not Xbox guys that are fanatics too. I just hear more about it from PlayStation people. And maybe I'm not in the circles that other people are in, but like I hear more stupid shit like this from the Sony side than I do from the Xbox side. It doesn't matter what console you play, what you're a fan of. That's fucked up, regardless of who you are. Just don't do that kind of shit. That's stupid. But Halo's gonna be fine. I have no worries about that game whatsoever. I enjoyed my time with it. Like I said, I put probably. How long was that flight? Like 5 days?
It started Thursday? It started Thursday.
The only thing I didn't get into was the multiplayer with people. I missed that window. Yeah, I missed that window.
It wasn't very long for some reason.
Yeah, it was only a few hours. I missed that window, but man, those fucking bots, bro. Like, in the beginning, on the first day when they had like the ODST bots, I was like, okay, we're fucking these guys up. Like, it's like 50 to like 15, Mm-hmm. But by the end of it, I was like stressing. I was like, man, this is bullshit. I can't kill these motherfuckers, man. It was really hard. Like, and it wasn't like, with the ODST bots, it seemed like they were just grouped together. at the end when they had, I don't know if they were Spartans or whatever the hell,
Yeah.
were they Spartans?
Mhm.
They were by themselves and they were fucking us up.
They'll flank you. Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah, they weren't grouped together. They have one, you think you got him by yourself, and another one would show up behind you. I mean, they were like, I don't know what they did, what the script they wrote for those guys, but like that.
I actually think that they're really the very
actually
first part of
like
like they do with driver tars. I think that that's exactly what they wanted to do this test for, because they were taking the data, and this was what was getting weird is that, like, because like I said, I was playing for hours. I took a break, got right back on, and their adjustment, and I showed a clip of that where
I was about to get to that too.
Oh yeah, my bad. Go ahead.
Let me say what I saw, because this is what I saw. I know what you're about to say. I watched you with the hook, right? You grabbed the dude, you fucking like elbowed him, right? You smashed him, and then like you went to grab another guy, and you grabbed him, but he jumped back. And it was like literally within the same clip, and he's like, "I saw what you did to my boy. You ain't doing that shit to me." And so the dude jumped back and he killed you.
Right? Yeah. He gave me the elbow. He jumped right over my. I was like, "What the fuck?" And there was one time where there was one guy that, one bot, I was out shooting him. I had, and he just ran like a regular human being. Like I was, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, holy shit! So I'm like,
he's like, I don't want none of this shit.
Yeah, he was, like, and so I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna chase your ass. I chased him, and when I got to him, he led me to the rest of his team, and I got lit up.
Yeah,
I was like, yeah, this is crazy.
It's like they're learning, and that's crazy. That if that's if that's what's going on, that's gonna be really hard to combat.
Artificial intelligence.
It's gonna be really hard to combat
crazy,
that because when I play shooters, like I have some techniques that I use, and that shit is not gonna work not at all. Like I like to I'll play like with the SMG, silence. I'll sit in the shadows, fuck you up when you walk past a fucking a point and hit you in the back. But like again, this is a military shooter, not like a space shooter. But still, like if that shit gets implemented in some other games, they're gonna flank me and find me, and that's exactly what's going on in Halo. Like they would corner you, they would flank you, they would lure you, and you might get them the one time, but then the next time it's gonna be a little more difficult to kill them. So, and it wasn't just about them having extra armor either. It was just about them having better technique than you had. So, I realized that when I was playing with the Spartans, I had to go with someone else. Like we went in twos because we were playing we were going on solos here, and I was like, okay, let's just group together. Let me follow this guy, and he'll shoot him. I'll come in for the kill, and then like by the time someone else on my team will respawn, I get killed, and they kill the person that killed me, and we were able to be more successful that way. But they were those bots they're not bullshitting, man. They're actually pretty good.
Nice, brother. I am a little jelly right now from you guys. I just want to say that, shout out to the Slayin' Chilean brother for hitting up that super chat, and man, I love being able to say that name. He says, do you think the Halo campaign will come out the same time as multiplayer, or will the campaign come out in 2022? Either way, I cannot wait for Infinite. And brother, they already came out and said they're dropping at the same time. That's what they said at E3. They're dropping at the same time. So I'm gonna hold them to their word on that. Usually when it comes to Halo, I go through the story first, I beat the story, and then I jump into the multiplayer. So when this game first drops, don't expect me to be in the lobbies right off the bat, man. I go into the story, I beat the story. It helps me learn kind of like the weapons and stuff as well, if you think about it. And I know they're, like we've used needlers and stuff before, but they have refined weapons with each and every Halo that's come out. So the same weapon feels different in different Halos and stuff. So it's always a good way to get in and get used to the weapons while also checking out the story and seeing what's going on in the Halo universe and what kind of shit's going down. So that's what I normally do. But yeah, same time, brother, same time. Let's go to Crispy on this. Now, Crispy, when it comes to the flight, I'm really not going to ask you about the flight. I I can't really chime in on it either because I haven't played it. But you can, share your opinions on what's going on in terms of the campaign leak and how these people are literally sending the leak, in messages on Twitter, putting it in the comments section on tweets and stuff like that, and trying to get as many people to read it as possible to kind of like ruin the experience, bro.
I mean, what can we say about that? Like, even when The Last of Us 2 leaks came out, yeah, I didn't play any of the game. I'll be honest with you, I read some of it and I watched some of like the small little tidbits they gave, and I was like, I'm still not interested in this game, which is just crazy. Like, I never played Last of Us 1, never played Last of Us 2. I'm not interested in, so much story. Like, all I saw was cutscenes and like simple gameplay, like puzzles, but they weren't really puzzles. You more or less couldn't die or anything could happen. You were just trying to figure stuff out during the beginning, and I'm like, I don't want to deal with all that. I just want to start killing things. And when it came down to it, when I've watched actual gameplay from people that were actually playing it, not some leak, I said, okay, I see why they enjoy this gameplay. You know what I mean? Because it's very visceral, but at the same time, it feels quick-timey to me. It feels very quick-time. And, Halo, you could say what you want, but, I mean, from what I've seen, even in Halo 1, like, you had your own experience, regardless. And I feel like, yes, the story will guide you in a certain way, but I feel like everybody's going to want to play that anyway because you're going to have your own experience. You might play with people. You might not play with people. You might, do it one way, and it'll lead you to the same cutscenes and everything else. We all know this. But the way you get there sometimes is more memorable than the way the cutscene is. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like, you might remember, like, one-shotting, like, a brute or something. You know what I mean? And just walking by him, and then all the little minions, as I like to call them, whoever it may be, the smaller ones, come around, grunts. And it's just like grunts, but at the same time, there's the elites. Like, the elites now are kind of like, I don't know, they kind of downplayed them a little bit. You know what I mean? Like, that's the way I feel, at least from what I've seen. I haven't played it myself, but it's like, elites are kind of like below you now, like you never felt like that before. And playing Halo 3 and then Halo Reach, the elites are always like, oh, here we go again, these motherfuckers, and they're gonna dodge
grenades, like, hide behind cover, come out, shoot you,
and you're like, but I felt like most people were kind of plowing through any elite they came to, you know what I mean? And it's just like, with the newer, like they evolve their, the characters that you're going against. And now it's like, basically like, okay, now we're going to make Spartan versus Spartan. And I saw people getting teabagged by bots, which is just amazing. I just loved it. It's like a lot of people don't understand, like, you play Gears once and you down somebody and they're the last person alive and you just stand over them. And then you go and chainsaw them straight up into the air and just launch them, or you rip their head off and freaking punt it like a fucking football. Like, you don't do that shit ever in a game, but when you do it, it's like, yes, I am. And then you get your ass whooped the next day. You know what I mean? Like, and that's the beauty of it, because at that one moment in time, you're like, I am the fucking shit, bro. Like, you know what I mean? And then, the next match, the next round, you could get handled. You know what I mean? But that's the fun of it, because, sometimes you got to be humbled. That's what I always say. And, I feel like their campaign, at least from what they described, even before the flight and everything else, it's kind of adaptive. That's what I feel like they're going for. And it's going to do things like, you're going to get to the same place, but you can do it a totally different way than you would expect. Mm-hmm. And I think that's what they're going for. I feel like you're going to have a lot of vehicle driving, a lot of things that you're not used to. Like, yes, it has happened in Halo, but that's not necessarily to say that it's at this scale and it looks this good. And I think that's important, because at the end of the day, like people enjoyed a kind of cross between old school Halo and new school Halo. And this is just going off what other people said. You know what I mean? People that really love Halo, they're like, oh, it's kind of like Halo 3, but it kind of has like the vibe of Halo 5 as well. So it kind of meshes everything together, and everybody seems to be enjoying it. I mean, to be honest with you, I'll call it a beta. I know it's a flight, but it's a beta for the multiplayer. You know, I haven't seen any negativity unless it's like simple things that they want them to correct, not necessarily just being like, oh, this is trash. Like I really, anybody that actually plays Halo, I don't see any of them being like, oh, this is trash. They'd be like, oh, this is great, or oh, this, you know, you can work on this and this. And that's the thing about Xbox, the thing about 343. They want to make this great, and I think they're going to listen as long as it's within the time constraints. They're going to try to correct whatever problems that a majority of people have. And I think that's awesome. That's what they've been doing lately. Yes, you know, 10 years ago, no, they weren't like that, you know, but now they actually care. You know what I mean? Like you got towards the 360 being like way higher than the PlayStation at the time. Then it got even at a point, and then you got right into the Xbox One generation, and actually PlayStation led the console generation at the end of it. And they just came in and they just stumbled right over their own damn feet. And it's like TV. How about these great games that you own the IPs to? Like, how about those? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, what happened to the games that, you know? And then it's like they kind of use like Halo as like oh, it's there, yeah, it's the next one. They kind of were so nonchalant until Phil got in there, and he's like, it's like, no, this is Halo. This is fucking Halo. You know what I mean? This is Gears of War. You know, this is Forza. This is the cream of the crop. Compare a game by all means. Like that's the way I feel Phil is at this point. Like Psychonauts 2 is a sleeper. I'm telling you, you watch. People are going to go nuts for this game. People are going to go nuts for that game. It's a platformer, but it's fucking wild. Like, I want to play it just because of how crazy. Like, it looks trippy. Like, I took some shrooms or some shit. Like, not saying I do that shit, but what I'm saying
if I
is...
did, the world would probably look like that.
You know what I mean? Like, that's wild. Like, they're giving you... Like, The Ascent, like, the only gripe I have with that game is I need a sensitivity slider. I need to lower my sensitivity. My right stick moves too quickly. Okay, but at the same time, I can still navigate it because it has the evade button, which is just like Gears. You know what I'm saying? And also, like, you can use cover. You just have to be like very quick about it. You can't just sit in cover. You have to use it very, like, you know, kind of circling around and evading them, and at the same time coming behind them, and, you know, just flanking or whatever. Like, you can use cover in that, but it's not the same. Like. And that's what I enjoy. But at the same time, it's like, dude, like, why can't I lower the sensitivity of my right stick? Like, I have a major problem with that. Like, can you guys do something about that? Neon Giant, talking to you. But yeah, this is the whole thing that I say is that, like, you know, you can have AAA bangers. I used the word. I used the word. Did it hurt your soul?
Gamer in the chat just cringed when you said that.
So you can have AAA, or you can have great games, and the difference is that I can have great games I can find on Game Pass and not pay more than my $15 subscription, and that's the difference. And you know what? I'm sure I'm going to get into Hades too when it comes for the first time to console on Xbox Game Pass.
It was on the Switch. I do like how you say first time to console because I consider Switch the world's, about to be second powerful handheld compared to Steam Deck. But yeah, some people consider the Switch a console. So, but yeah, it's gonna be. I'm gonna try it out. I'm gonna try Hades. I'm not into those the kind of like
a roguelike.
No, it's the way the, you know, Torchlight has the same camera view. I'm gonna try Diablo as well when it drops in Game Pass too. I never really played a Diablo game. I did play Torchlight on the 360 with my adopted brother. He was really into it, and I would play with him, but I never really got into it. The Ascent, I love the backdrop, the environment, and kind of like the atmosphere of the Ascent. I just really don't get into those types of games though. But great points, Crispy. As usual, man. Halo Infinite looks like it's in a great place right now, which is really outstanding to look from when they first showed it, kind of like the backlash that was put out there, to now with the flight for the multiplayer coming out, and even the old school Halo guys really digging the game. I am a little more cautious though. I do love my dodge and my dash from Halo 5. To the point where it's second nature to me. Like when I jump, I dash in the side direction to interrupt my jump and to go sideways and stuff.
The way
like
that for the very first couple of hours, I was doing that too. But then once you get into how the game flows, you'll get comfortable with it. That's the one thing. That's why I say, like, for
they're not going to put it in the game, so
that's not true. That I do. We found some. Oh, that's right. You wasn't in that conversation. When you go into the controls, this is something that I think that this is I got a big shout out to One Bad Mother for this one. When you get into the controls, you'll see all these other options, and there's one option that says thrusters.
Ooh.
So what I think that they're going to do, and I said this when me and Don we were going over and talking about giving our thoughts about what the game could be consisted of, and I'm thinking what this game is going to do is eventually, like, because what you could do with that grappling hook, you can do some really cool shit. I've seen somebody take the grappling hook, take it and then flip it, and then flip themselves way up in the damn air, and then come down on the other side of the map. Now, I don't. That was crazy to me, and there was no way that I was going to try to master that. So when you're going to have people that's going to be doing all different types of things in custom matches, I think when you look at when I love the battle system, it reminds me of Destiny and of Call of Duty. I like that. What I think that they're going to do is start off with the older stuff first, and then they're going to start implementing, as it goes further, Halo 5 abilities. And remember, I said, look, the way that they can make it work as long as it's fair, and it's not like where you have those thrusters the whole map, but you'll have 5 thrusters, or because they bounced around from having 3 grappling hooks, then they bounce to 5 grappling hooks. So if you can get those thrusters to have, where you could thrust around 5 different times, or then if you could do the shoulder charge 5 different times, things like that, yeah, it'll piss some people off. But again, then if other people have other abilities that they can use, it works with that. And on top of that, the game is going to have so many different modes. I think it'll be perfect for everyone. So
okay. All right. Well, we'll have to see. Yeah. We'll have to see about that. But again, that was one of the things that became second nature to me in Halo 5, especially multiplayer. Being able, especially in the middle of a jump, being able to disrupt kind of like the point of view that the enemy had on me as quick as I could, and just change direction that fast or whatnot. But I'm excited for it. I think the game, I think the player models, what they're doing with the coding and the armor set, I really like that. To me, it is like the armors themselves to me look like Halo Reach. But shinier, more detailed, being this generation, new hardware, all that good stuff. So I am excited for that. But guys, it is about that time, man. We need to wind it down. I need to get to bed. I am going to be running a machine, and I don't want to lose an arm. You know what I'm saying? Being half tired, sticking my arm in there for whatever reason. Huge shout out to the chat. You guys have been absolutely incredible as always. Love seeing you guys kind of feed off the topics, talk about it amongst yourselves, share your opinions as well. I mean, that's what the show is all about. That's what these gaming podcasts are all about. You come to hear us, but we come to see what you are saying about it as well. So huge shout out to you guys. Huge shout out to the panel as always, putting up with me for another week. I don't know how they do it, and I'm going to start with the man in terms of the outros. I'm going to start with the man who has been here from the beginning, who is not completely insane yet, but no longer has hair on top of his head. Of course, that is K Mega. K Mega, what do you got going on with your YouTube channel, with your streaming and all that good stuff, bro?
Oh yeah, K Mega 405, man. We'll be taking GRG off for a couple of weeks here. So if you're looking for GRG this week, next week, and I don't know if we'll see about the week after. We're gonna take a little break, but then we'll definitely be coming back, and we'll be getting back to get to some serious work. But yeah, we'll be having that off. I will still be streaming and stuff like that. We'll drop a couple of videos. But yeah, I won't be on the next podcast next week. I'm gonna take this little break, like I said, and it's gonna give a shout out to to my wife for supporting the hell out of me for doing this, and so I got to give her some time. So we're gonna sit here and we're gonna hang out a little bit. And other than that, just give everybody a little break away from K Mega for a little while. See if you guys miss me. So so it'll be cool. So anyway, but thank you guys so much. Yeah, Fight Night Sunday though, we'll definitely do that every Sunday night. And then like I said, I'll start definitely picking up the streaming and all that other stuff here coming in the next couple of weeks. But yeah, everybody, I'll see y'all later, man. Have a good one.
Nice. And I think the rest of the panel will miss you, bro. I don't think you're gonna miss me too much. I don't think. I think you might be a little tired of me, but it's okay. It's all right.
Yes, stupid. Anyway.
Yo, Predator, what do you got for us for your outro, bro?
Not much, man. See y'all next week. I'm tired. Ready to go to bed.
Yeah, me too, bro.
Maybe we'll get a day off next week since K Mega won't be here. Maybe our host
Never.
Will probably not. So, see y'all next week.
Hey.
Raggedy ass, well.
Yeah, I know, man.
Yo, let's see what has Crispy got for an outro, and are you gonna ask for a day off too, bro?
A day off? What's a day off?
Yeah, that's right, man. That Connecticut motivation right there. Good job, bro.
I don't have one tomorrow from podcasting, at least. Yeah. At Chris Bomb on Twitter, Chris Bomb 20 Xbox Live. You can find me on Breakfast Boom tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. You can also find me on the Retro Renegades, 7 p.m. on Tuesdays. And, of course, back here, prime time on the next podcast every Thursday.
Oh, yeah. Love that prime time. And, again, shout out to you guys. Thank you so much. We will, Predator, we will be live next Thursday. I am going to be looking. I'm going to be looking. You never know. We might have a special guest. Somebody to fill K Mega's seat. K Mega, you got to leave the what is it? Is it manicure or pedicure? The foot thing.
That's petty.
Petty? Yeah, you got to leave the pedicure set at the chair for whoever's coming in, man. You got to clean it out. Make sure that the water's nice and warm and everything.
They better have their own. They better have their own materials for their petty. Petties are expensive. Anyway.
But guys, thank you so much for all the continued support. We will be live again next week. We will see you next week for the next podcast. Have a gregreat night, everybody.
All right. Peace.
No craziness, huh? Look at that.
Too tired.
This is Steve Downs, the voice of Master Chief, Spartan 117. And you're tuned in to next podcast. Now, wake me when you need me.